It's good. It's good. Almost done. It's good. It's good. Now, everybody say something. No, it's still not working.
Awesome. What?
Yeah.
Now it's working.
So are we still? Oh, okay.
Are we muted?
Everybody,
No,
go back
not
to
muted.
minding your manners.
Haven't used my phone for the for my character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hang on 1 second.
I'm gonna throw that up here.
My Yeti is fucking up right now. Let's see if I can get it to work real fast, and then if not, I'll use my headset.
All right, stack's gone.
Yeah, static is gone.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Is it over?
You're all good?
It
Yeah.
seems to be working now.
Yep.
Let me double check one thing. Excuse me. Okay. So let's try this as a boom. Got it. Okay. I put some noise filters on there, so hopefully the background noise that's caused the overload in the microphone won't be happening again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dinner and a Game. Chaos, Anarchy. Standing next to Fuel Dragster without hearing protection. I am very sorry. That is not fun. I'm not saying I've done that, but I'm saying I've done equally ridiculous things that have hurt myself very, very much. So I understand and I apologize. So everyone, welcome back to Dinner and a Game. It is Friday, and this particular Friday, that means it is time for Crossing the Vale. Crossing the Vale is Dinner and a Game's Firefly campaign. However, there's no actual Firefly game that's released right now. What this is there was a game set up released for Firefly. It was using the Cortex rules system, which is a universal rule system that can be customized for just about anything. Which game was it? Which Marvel game was it, Jonathan? Marvel. Yeah, it's Dinner and a Game, folks. We're literally trying to eat dinner while we're trying to get the game going. Just type
Speak
it in
for
chat.
yourself. I'm eating cookies.
Yeah, but
Marvel Heroic.
Thank you, Marvel Heroic. So it is a system that basically can be adapted to just about anything, and they did do an adaptation for it for Firefly. Unfortunately, the company that did the adaptation has since lost the license, so the books are no longer available. You can't even get them off a drive-through-RPG. And for what I understand, they're starting to go for quite a bit on eBay and such. And I haven't heard anything about anyone else getting the license, so I don't know if we're gonna see a new Firefly game in the near future. So if anyone hears anything about it, do let us know. I'd love to see a new rule set for it.
So the mechanics got taken over by somebody else that's doing Cortex Prime. So you can get Cortex Prime, which is the generalized version of the system, which would be very easy to then like refit to, do it this way if you want to, or play a similar style of game. But they don't have the Firefly license piece to plug in. Like the new Cortex system doesn't have any licenses from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Static's back.
Emotional
And then-
damage.
And this time, I did not turn the audio on the stream up all the way when I went to verify that.
Nope. It sounds like an action scene.
Oh, nope.
Stop.
That should have done it.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with my headset mic because I don't know what's going on with the Bluetooth, with the Blue Yeti, but something's going on because it's not liking anything right now.
Okay. Yes,
And you're
explosive
coming through
decompression
clear on the
is...
stream too, so
Huh?
you're coming in clear on the stream with your headset mic, so it's not
Yeah.
muffled or anything.
It shouldn't be. Hopefully it's not. But sorry for that again, guys. But the next thing is that we have, as I said, we need to have players in order to have a game, and these amazing people have agreed to come in and let me torture. And it's already starting out as torture because we have begun this campaign in the middle of the battle for Vale. Which, if any of, I'm assuming everyone here is in some way, shape, or form a fan of the show. So you all that are in the know that means they're in a bad place. So let's go ahead and meet the amazing folks who have agreed to let me hurt them in so many emotional ways. Let's just go around the circle. We'll start with Oz. Oz, how are you
Hello.
doing?
I am good. We're here getting emotionally damaged. It's great. I'm Az. Normally I'm playing on the Figment Collective, but I'm here
kidnapped him.
playing Nate the Besk. Just a kid from the Rim who's now trying to learn how to fly.
The kid from the Rim trying to make a better life, trying to
Try-
get
I'm
out and
just-
see the world. And where'd you end up?
I was gonna join the Alliance so I could get to the core planets. It was gonna be great. And now, plans changed.
To be fair, you learn to fly just with a really alternative form of propulsion. It's the landing you need to get down.
Yeah, the landing. Hopefully, it doesn't stick in the wrong way.
I mean,
yeah.
pretty sure you'll do better than Sam in his game.
I can only hope.
it's always the hope. No one wants to have as much fun as Sam does. So
Fun.
continuing going around the rim. Geek Girl.
Hello.
I actually put that as your title because we do have two different Lissas who are on these streams, and so we Geek Girl Lissa will keep her tag as well as her name.
Yeah. So I'm playing Mariana Redfield. She is the captain of a Firefly class vessel, which last session got exploded along with her entire family and neighbors and everyone she's ever fucking known. Her family owns a ranch on Hera, but her parents started a merchant business when she was a child, and it kind of became the family business along with the family ranch. And when everyone would grow up, they would work on the ship for a little bit, and then a lot of them would come back to Hera and work on the ranch, or they would work somewhere in the vicinity of the ranch. But her family is from Hera, and they are now exploded.
Now exploded. They are now part of the world.
To quote, shit, what was the Star Trek thing from? Not Star Trek. It had Tim Allen in it. Fuck.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy
yeah.
Quest. They turned inside out, and they exploded.
There's nothing quite as good as Galaxy Quest quotes because you know the horrible things that happened in that film.
Yeah.
Greg, not Greg, not Greg.
So, let's keep going around. Jonathan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
And who the heck are you? Hi, Jonathan.
So I I am playing Wyatt. He landed the vessel as elegantly as you can when the engines fail. And then when he woke up, he went outside to find that there were 2 people that had left the ship ahead of him. And I shot the first one I saw dead, and then went to go meet with the other.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very
Concise.
a very vague way of putting things. Thank you.
Very vague and concise way to
Yeah.
describe
What?
the last session.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all the information that's been revealed so far, anyways. So
there you go. We can't really argue that point, can we? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we do this. We don't give away anything until it's time. And by the way, Jonathan, did you say who you're playing?
yeah, I said I'm playing Wyatt.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
I mean, did you want a different description of
No,
him?
that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
I'm
You're all right.
playing a dude who can fly a ship.
Crash
I
landed
crashed
it
the
better
ship
than anybody else.
and didn't die. I was only knocked unconscious. So just saying.
This time.
Yeah, technically not wrong.
Technicalities are Jonathan's specialty. And Kel, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Just ready to get more into this emotional damage situation that we're all in.
Well, a lot of you are actually looking at possible physical damage at this point.
True.
We're fine.
Yeah,
Fine. I
I
somehow managed to get out of that without physical damage.
Yeah.
Just all the emotional.
Yeah.
I should change this from space to fire for the whole this is fine. No, but yeah, but I mean, you can find me on TikTok and Twitch as Celtic Wyvern King. Been doing a lot more on TikTok lately. We haven't actually have an interview video. Trying to do more streams. And then when it comes to tonight, I'll be playing. As of right now, he's known as Mitchell Bates, but later he'll be known as Stephen Knight, an Alliance soldier turned browncoat spy. Because he's like, yeah, the Alliance is fucked up. And right now, he just got deployed to the battle zone where everything's getting shelled, and he's like, yeah, I gotta figure out how to get out here before they found out I'm a spy, because they know there is a spy somewhere in the unit.
Your unit got notified, and you as one of the unit commanders got notified that basically they know that there is a spy leaking information to the browncoats, and they've cordoned it down to your unit, and they told you to watch everyone, and you guys were sent in because the only reason you were sent into battle because they were watching your unit is because near where your unit was, a ship crashed that had an Alliance a browncoat commander in it, and yours was the only unit around, so they had to dispatch you guys to recover him. That's the fun you're looking at.
I don't know if I'd phrase that as fun, but yeah.
Oh, come on. How can it not be fun?
Yeah, we just got the 4th of July going on around us.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part. Oh, hydrate.
Already? Of
Yeah.
course. And a posture check.
Was
Yeah,
this
hey, we're
M?
both,
Is she getting
sewer
back?
and-
Because I'm in both of these.
Hi,
streams.
Slytherin.
It's not fair.
Oh,
Nope.
No, it's,
Wesley and then Dragon
It's
Dactyl.
Slytherin. It's Slytherin
Dragon
who
Dactyl,
changed
did
his
you change your
username.
handle?
Or no, backup account with the assistant self-care. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is, Slytherin.
Gotcha. All right, and finally,
My mods betray me.
and finally, we have Corey. How you
That's
doing,
me.
sir?
I'm doing okay. Doing okay.
Nice.
Little concerned, but okay.
What do you have to be concerned about? You
I just
made
turned a
one
man to
explode.
mist, and I have a 6'6" farm bred and fed giant named Tiny. That's what I'm calling him, chasing me as I'm running into a firefight. I feel like this could lead to problems.
No, you never know. I mean, the only good thing is he might not be able to figure out how his gun works, so he'll just be chasing you, trying to bash you with it.
I really, really thought about disabling their guns. I really thought about it.
Actually, I just thought about the way he's chasing you. The end scene of Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
And Shooter
gosh.
is running with the golden jacket.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of Happy Gilmore that I can incorporate into this, so we'll went without tonight. All right, there we go. Thank Kel for setting the theme for the evening.
But more to the point, I am playing Clayton McCoy. As far as any of you know, we'll ever see if anything else comes of that. But Clayton McCoy, former member of the Alliance, as a field medic who's massively overqualified, and now I'm a man covered in the mist of another man that I created, stripping off Alliance fatigues and running for my fucking life.
I'm just a man covered in the mist of another man. And,
That's actually
Trying to make mist of another man.
And I think we have a new quote.
And
I'm a
also,
man covered in the mist,
In the
of,
midst
another
of another
man.
man.
and also because Sam is not in the chat, phrasing.
All right, so
hey, at least it's not me this week.
you know what? I am
Give it
never gonna
time.
say at least it's not somebody, because you guys literally provide so much content just with your just with the word things that need to have the word phrasing added to them.
Look, that's like half of
I
the
could-
things out of our
I could
mouths.
rephrase, if necessary, the mist of what
No.
used to be another man.
We used to be another man.
Look, either way, it sounds dirty in the best
Oh,
way.
and that's fine.
Either way, it
That's
sounds
fine.
dirty in the best way.
Wait, I'm cool with that.
That's what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for things that are dirty, but only in the best way. And so, what we're going to be doing now is I'm going to be going over a couple of things that we're also doing to try and help you guys incentivize to choose dinner and a game as the place where you try and find some homebrew entertainment. One of the things we're doing right now is we are doing our best to keep contests going. I was really, really bad with the last contest we were doing, mainly because I could not keep up with actually getting everything out to everybody. Because we were doing contests quite a bit. I mean, we were doing we were giving away a mini a game, but we're doing something else now. We're going to give out one mini a month, but we're not going to give out just any old mini. As you can see by the mini I'm trying to make fit on this screen, it's slightly big. We are going to be giving away one fucking giant. This month we're going to give away this. Is the Blood Rider, which is from Archvillain's Blood Right Red Rain series, which is a series about vampires and their thralls. This is a Death Knight mounted on an undead dragon, standing on a ruined building. And this mini, the base of this mini, the base is 75 millimeters. So if the base is 75 millimeters and those wings go well beyond the base, you can imagine how big that fucking is. So that's a huge mini. Now,
My question is,
yes.
if you're using it in a game, how much do you hate your players?
You know what? I don't hate them. I love them, and I want them to experience action and drama in a way that's visceral and can be really expressed. So that means real fear. So I want to put something down that's scary.
Fair.
There you go. So
The only thing I have to say on the only thing I'd say on that is I'm gonna pull an Admiral Redby here and call dibs.
call dibs. So the way we're going to be giving this away is we're going to be going ahead and doing a raffle drawing at the end of the month. Now this is the way you get tickets. Randomly during the show, we're going to open up the drawing to get raffle tickets. Okay, there's going to be a keyword that you're going to be typing into the chat window. It's going to be ! Keyword into the chat window during that time frame. And if when you type that in there, if you're a follower of the show, you will get 1 ticket. If you're a subscriber to the show, you'll get 2 tickets. And we will do this every single show, which means the more content of ours you watch, the more chances you have to win in the raffle. Even if you're not a subscriber, you get more tickets. So be sure you check out all of our other shows. Next Friday night is the debut of our new Indie 5e show, which is a Suicide Squad based game that's being run by Game Raider girl Ivy Shadow, who has got a bunch of people that you guys might recognize from TikTok join. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible because we're going to be bad guys, but we're going to have to do good things because otherwise our heads will explode. I don't really I like that twin.
Just don't become Mist.
It's only our heads.
So it's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it is. It's literally based on the Suicide Squad. And we're going to be doing that. We're going to starting that next Friday. So it's going to be the alternate game for this game. Okay. The other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing we're going to be actually not the other thing we're doing. The other thing we're doing on Fridays is this show. This is why this is every 2 weeks. And then on Saturday mornings we always have the Monster Hearts 2 show that's being run by Emerald Sanctums. Oh my God, this is being run by Star Shard Stories, who is in our Emerald Sanctums game. And she is running the Monster Hearts campaign, as well as we have our Tuesday night Emerald Sanctums World of Darkness game, and we have our Wednesday night D5e game, Homebrew Kingdoms of Myth. And all that is going to be coming around because we have everything set up for that, and we may be debuting another show. That's not going to be coming out. That's not going to be starting until after Gen Con. So we have tons of opportunity. Get raffle tickets, which, just like I said, increases your ability to actually. Now, this big giant thing that I'm pulling up on screen now, this is something we're doing for our viewers over on TikTok. We're trying to hit 1K on TikTok because I want to go and talk to more places, and if we get 1K, we get to do lives on TikTok. And so after that, I don't really care. I love TikTok, but you know, there's a lot of stuff going on everywhere, so I try and make content on there as often as possible. And most of these people I met through TikTok, so TikTok is absolutely amazing and wonderful, and I love it, except for the algorithm, which everyone knows and hates.
The clock app.
Yes, the clock app. But if you go over and follow us on TikTok, when we hit 1K on TikTok, we're going to give away this. It's a 3D printed Wizard's Tower. It's 4 stories tall, about 9 inches wide. It's about 11 inches total tall in height. Each level comes off, and there's stairways for each level to get up to levels. The front door opens and closes. The hatch in the roof that opens and closes, and each level breaks down to individual parts that you can literally store the whole thing in a high top shoebox. Now we're going to be giving this away. We hit 1K on TikTok. TikTok. Oh, I didn't have TikTok up. And I think we're at 939. But we're getting close, but we just need a little push to get over the top. So anything you guys can do to help, I'm gonna put our link tree up in chat right now. And if you go to follow our socials, you can go find our links back for that, and we will take any help we can get on getting to that 1K goal, guys. So let people know about it and let them know that we're giving it away. And so it's an incentive for you guys. It's an incentive for everyone, and we hope people answer the call to help us get there. And we also always remember, we try and help out the members of our family who are in need. We have several situations that are going on right now. I know that Kel has a cat that they rescued, and that cat is having some pretty bad health issues. And Joy, he just found out it's pregnant. So the rescue has turned into a family rescue from just a single cat rescue. Yep. Kel does have. Is it a? Which one are you going through for that?
I set up a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe? Yeah, Kel has a GoFundMe, and we have a channel in our Discord, and it says We Are One. And this is where we try and any members of our community that are having problems and need help with anything, we allow them to put up their GoFundMes and everything in that channel so they can get the information out to our community. And if you go to our Discord and join there, you'll be able to see all that. Plus, we have chat rooms that we have exclusive for role play for our characters for our different campaigns. That all happens live in the chat as well. Plus, you get to meet all these amazing people, and you get to say hi. And 3/4 of the time, we're all complaining about something. It's just like being with our regular friends. So, in the meantime, though, if you want to help out with that, I know Kel would be incredibly grateful. It's looking like to being a pretty big bill no matter what happens. And then we also have PSK Studios, who is doing they give away a mini a month. They don't give it away, sorry. They actually have a auction every month for a mini they paint. They're a custom mini painting studio. And the auction raises funds for the American Suicide Foundation. It is an incredibly worthy cause. They're incredibly good people, and they do this. Whenever they don't have enough money, when they don't have a mini that's been given to them by a mini production company, they actually raise funds of this GoFundMe they have in order to get money up to buy minis in order to paint them, and then they auction off the painted minis, and then all the funds from that go to the American Suicide Foundation. So if you can help out with that, that would be amazing and lovely. And we do our best to help out. So if you go to the Discord and check out that channel, you can find everyone's information there, and it's really the best thing we can help people out of this. We try, and we hope we succeed. But in the meantime, it is time to start getting in crossing the Vale. As you guys know, when we left off, you guys were in an absolute world of chaos.
I created a distraction.
Huh?
I created a distraction.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we were in hell.
So
We were in Serenity Valley. Come on.
Which is hell. So
Yeah. The premise of this game is that the initial meet cute for this game is they're all being thrown together to try and escape the Battle of Serenity Valley. It's in the last moments of the Battle of Serenity Valley when the Alliance decided they were pouring everything they had into wiping out the Browncoats' infrastructure and trying to wipe them out completely. If you guys don't know a lot of the lore from Firefly, the Battle of Serenity Valley was like the last major fight with Browncoats. And they... Oops, hello. Oh, hey, Tannis Jr. 93, yo, how you doing? But yeah, so it was the last major hurrah for the Browncoats, and they were absolutely and totally crushed in the Battle of Serenity Valley. They lost most of their command. They lost a lot of their intel. They lost a massive amount of resources. But it wasn't without losses for the Alliance. The Alliance's commanders were absolutely ruthless. They were having their artillery shell on positions they knew were active with their just to ensure they could create the most amount of casualties on the Browncoat side as possible. So it was probably the most bloody fight in the war, and it was pretty much the final fight. After that, it was literally just mop up sorties for the Alliance to chase down the last remaining Browncoats they could find who weren't smart enough to go immediately into hiding. So we are at a point right now where Mariana, as she said in the beginning, she had been flying the family ship back to planet because she knew what was coming and she wanted to get her family off planet. Through a series of complications mainly caused by her parents wanting to get as many people out as possible, she couldn't just fly in, pick them up, and leave. They were trying to get people onto the ship. They were trying to get their friends and family onto the ship, and due to the delays, the Alliance air superiority was able to see her ship and see that she was basically getting people off world. And next thing that she knew, as she was trying to run out and help some people get onto the ship, Alliance gunboats came around and banked over her head, swung back out over her family's ship and put to hell. And her mother, her father, grandmother and grandfather, right? Were in the ship. Grandfather was getting ship prepped for takeoff, and grandmother was helping everyone get loaded aboard.
Dad was getting the ship.
Oh yeah, that was good. And then her entire family and friends who were there at the ranch, and the neighbors around them that they had managed to get together, were in that vessel. And that ship was blown to pieces. They also strafed with machine gun fire in the valley, so the people that she was actually trying to get back to the ship were also killed. And it was just the stuff out of nightmares. And just as she's kind of picking herself up and realizing that she somehow miraculously survived all this, the Alliance gunboats come back around, and even though it was already blown up, they reshelled remains of the ship. As I said, this was more of a shock and awe or attack, battle than it was anything else. It was rough. Speaking of people who had a rough time, Az's character, Nathan Vesk, fresh recruit, right out of the Alliance training program. Were you actually an engineer or just a mechanic?
Engineer.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nathan went to engineering school and then got sent to the rim after being told, like, no, you'll finish training, gonna go to the core planets, it'll be great.
Gonna have a nice, cushy job.
Fun change up here. You're getting a promotion to Hera.
Yeah, you're getting
on the
sent to
battlefront.
Hera. And you have to, just make sure that these lovely boys have lots of support, because they're going to be in the middle of the fight and they're going to need all the material support they can get. So you're going to be there to keep everything working. Her first assignment out the bat was following what they call a mule. Not a mule, but
Dog, yeah.
Yeah, and following one of those, which is basically a walking transport that follows troops onto the battlefield and acts as a mobile platform for them to store munitions and everything else like that, so they can go on longer sorties without having to come back to base. So her first job was being the assigned mechanic for that vehicle, and as the troops were engaging, that poor thing kind of got loaded up. And then Vest bailed, of course, because she saw the rocket incoming, and she saw that her unit was under heavy fire. Never really been in combat, only had the basic combat training from basics. And so, did you even pull out your gun?
No, I grabbed a gun.
Yeah.
And then was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so we're just gonna. And then got caught.
Yeah, she was like, I'm just gonna run for it, and she ran right into like a couple of brown coats, who, luckily enough, didn't just shoot her on sight, but they captured her and they were holding her down, and then, well, Corey, Clayton and his crew, who were coming up on the fight themselves, got engaged. Clayton is a medic, and so he was in the back, and he was basically figuring out how to get his way out of this, because Clayton is a veteran at this point, and he had been through hell on Earth, or hell on whatever planet he was sent to. Sent to a lot. And,
hell on the Earth that was.
Yeah, on the Earth there was, and he basically was in this position of just wanting to burned out, PTSD, the worst kind of situation that you could be in, and he was just looking for a way out. He got assigned a couple of boys to help him out with injured and everything like that during the fight, and he was left pretty much to his own devices. His sergeant gave him permission to get more supplies, and he was in the back of the lines, but he saw an opportunity. And
well, very quickly the back of the line became the front lines.
Well, yeah,
very
because they got
rapidly.
ambushed.
Yeah.
So as he and his boys are setting up a mobile triage point for treating wounded, an Alliance group stumbled on them because they're coming around to flank his actual unit, and so suddenly they found themselves under fire. Before his escorts could think to return fire, Clayton saw his chance and tried to pull the hand grenades on the grenades they were wearing on their vests. He managed to grab...
I was marginally successful.
Yes, you managed to grab one of them, pull the pin right out. And so the last thing that Clayton saw before he started, or heard, before he started trucking it, was the, "What are you doing, sir?" And then 3 steps later, the crunk boom of the hand grenade going off, and Clayton is currently booking ass across the battlefield and stripping off his alliance his purple belly jacket as he is
Everything
just
but
trying to
that
bail.
vest.
Huh?
Everything but that vest.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, your men actually bought you an upgraded
Mhm.
bulletproof vest because they didn't want
Yep.
you to die, and you killed them.
Disassociation and trauma. What are you gonna do? Fight or flight's a bitch.
And you chose fighting.
I
Speaking
think
of-
all of us have chosen flight so
Pretty
far.
much. Speaking of Wyatt, Jonathan, you were actually flying an Alliance commander, a Browncoat commander, back into the command center, and you were coming on the planet, you managed to get through the blockade. You're coming to the planet with the commander, and you're trying to make your way around the worst of the anti-aircraft fire on the battlefield, and you basically discovered that there was some kind of tight beam transmission being sent from your ship to the Alliance positions. And as you discovered that, you kind of sent a private message back to the commander to let him know what was going on. And as you were moving forward, you changed your landing point because you figured that whatever was going on, someone had just told where your original landing point was. And as you made the adjustments and changed your landing position, you began to bank the ship around the other way. And as you did so, you were actually shutting down communications as well, trying to turn off your transponder and not letting anyone else trace you. Right as you did so, and detected your second in command, your co-pilot, sending a transmission again. And at that point, you were looking at trying to figure out what you were going to do. It was a gunship that got you, wasn't it?
I believe that's what you said.
Yeah, but that
I was too busy trying not to crash. I wasn't really concerned about what ship was coming after
Yeah.
us. I just didn't want to crash.
Yeah, so basically they got shot out of the sky, and they managed. Wyatt managed to bring the ship down in enough of one piece to where everyone in the ship in the cabin lived. But when he came to after the crash, he saw that the co-pilot's chair was empty, and so was the commander's. And as he got out of the ship, he saw the co-pilot holding the commander at gunpoint, or holding someone at gunpoint around the corner of the ship, and they were trying to move away from the ship and move towards the Alliance lines. And at that point, Wyatt did an all-or-nothing shot and pretty much blew his co-pilot's head off.
As I should.
Yeah, and then he went and found that it was the Browncoats commander that was being let off, and so he and the Browncoats commander were trying to regroup and see what they were going to do, just as Mariana came riding up on a horse, because that's the only transport she had left.
Well, fuck.
And
Well,
finally,
we're a ranch, so of course there's fucking
I
horses.
know. It was like the only thing that's guaranteed to work is someone that's still alive. And finally,
now.
Look, you don't have to put
Yeah.
gas in a horse.
nope, it just produces.
Do you know
gas.
how expensive gas is in wartime? God.
Yeah, well, and it's also just plain old hard to get because it's rationed. But Kel's character Steven, he was with his unit. The unit had been marked as a possible unit that might be leaking information to the enemy. It was being watched, but a report came in that a commander from the Browncoat side had just crashed near the battle lines, and they were the only unit available to be dispatched to try and recover him. So his unit was sent out. As they got down to the front, they were basically loaded up into an APV. The APV driver drove them down. They're dumping out. As they're dumping out, the APV starts coming under heavy fire. Kel's men begin fanning out, and the APV ditches them. I mean, just as freaking Steven is jumping out of the back of the ATV, one of the last people out because he's one of the unit commanders, the ATV just takes off and leaves them. Doesn't even try and provide support and fire or nothing. Just fucking ditches them. And so, Steven, you're the kind of the last one, as you're coming out of the vehicle, you saw this entire scene stretched out. So what you see is an Alliance trooper is running across the field. He is thrown off his purple belly jacket, and he is just hauling ass. And back where he's coming from, there is a not large. There is you can recognize the plume of smoke as a hand grenade has gone off. You see another brown Alliance trooper standing up and trying to draw a bead down on the gentleman running. Your troopers are fanning out. The gentleman running is running towards two browncoats who are standing over a person who's on the ground. And that person has their hands behind their head, and they're in an Alliance uniform as well. And there is a crashed ship just like about 20 yards beyond them, and outside of the crashed ship there are two men. One's an obvious browncoats officer, and the other one is probably a co-pilot from the ship, and a woman on a horse. And so your troops are falling out. Your second in command kind of looks at you and he's like, and there are other like Alliance and Browncoats units around, so you are coming up under fire, and so everyone's like ducking for cover. Your second command's like, what type of holy horse shit are we in? That's really a horse.
I just, at that point, Steve was just going like, ignore the horse, find a hole, start shooting. We gotta get out of this. We gotta get out of the crossfire.
So as you guys are moving through, Clayton, you're kind of just. I'm thinking. Let me ask and see if I'm kind of on point here. I don't think Clayton's kind of in his right mind right now.
No, he is very much not. But he is definitely in a heightened state of survival. And I very specifically said that as I was fleeing, we are in what was once a city. Correct? I am actively running to some kind of, even if it's partially destroyed, some section of building, some kind of ruined area, something that I can get into, duck, and maybe break line of sight, if nothing else. That was kind of my goal here.
There's one thing that I probably didn't point out well enough, because we're not in the city. Because we're still at the Alliance Command Center that's outside the city. The city's down in the valley proper. We're up on the kind of the side of the valley.
You're over to the side near my family's ranch.
Yep. So
I am sprinting for anything that I can break line of sight. That is my goal.
There's plenty, because like I said, this place has been shelled to hell. So there's all kinds of this giant pivots taken out of the earth and upheaval. What's making the fight so hard is the fact that everyone's running over broken ground right now. So yeah, you can definitely dive in. You basically just dive in for a hole and to take cover.
Yep.
All right. Did you take your weapon with you when you ran?
Never came off my back.
Okay.
I specifically wasn't keeping it in my hands for the act of trying to figure something out. Right. So weapon is still on me. I'm kind of trying to pull jacket and anything that indicates that I'm Alliance, try to get that off me while not removing the gun, because I know that will be my saving grace at some point, I'm sure.
The biggest problem with that is you're still wearing very purple pants.
It's fine. I will ditch those as soon as I can. I need to break line of sight.
A guy in boxers and an undershirt just hauling ass with a gun slapped over his back.
Briefs, by the way, boxer briefs.
Sorry,
specifically boxer briefs. With a high quality bulletproof vest over the undershirt.
That's right. He did have the bulletproof vest undershirt.
I had it specifically under my jacket.
Corey's just
that
trying to
last gif.
I was like, Corey's just trying to make Clayton cosplay Peacemaker there.
Okay, but here's the thing. What color are the boxer briefs? Are they like white with little hearts on?
They are black. They are black. They are a pretty standard issue. Black on black on black with purple. That's
black on black with purple.
Purple. Yeah.
And they
so
take
they're
that
a
purple belly
bruise.
shit
The
serious.
Alliance is a bruise.
The Alliance is a... So, guys, let's go ahead and start this. So, Clayton, you dive for cover. The shots are coming in pretty much hard and fast. as you're down and duck for cover, you can hear that there's at least an Alliance like sergeant or something nearby, because you can hear him barking out commands to his unit. What are your plans at this point?
I've managed to take some cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're literally like laying in your back on a hole.
Yeah, I'm looking for anything that will allow me to move forward as well, like to move towards, like away from my guys towards the Browncoats. That is my goal, is to just get away from Alliance as best I can, while kind of skirting primary combat areas if I can manage that, right? So I'm trying to go basically any kind of crater to crater, shortest distances between cover as I can. I will say for the moment being, though, I've managed to at least get the jacket off. And I am definitely laying like in a hole, just kind of waiting.
Mhm.
Just to, I can hear orders being barked. Like, which direction from me am I hearing it?
Up the hill, and as you're laying there. Okay, let's set a north, south, east, west.
Okay.
Towards the Valley
Mhm.
is north.
Okay.
Because so the Alliance was coming up from the south.
Okay.
Directly south from the valley is back towards the Alliance camp. Okay. To the west of your position is where the ship crashed.
Okay.
And to the east of your position is just further down the lines where the fighting is. So this is on the very end of the fighting lines. This is on the very end of that area, and so there's not as many units over here. They're mainly watching for flanking maneuvers.
Yeah.
And so
I'm definitely moving northwest then, because I'm trying to move keeping on the edge of combat. That's going to be my best bet, because at least that's something I could maybe.
It's also the most cover.
Yeah, that's kind of the thought. Is it's cover, and I can maybe hide there for a hot second if I can at least break line of sight from people.
Yeah, that's
and
about
get into
20
it.
yards from where you're at right now.
Okay. And I'm hearing the Alliance officer clearly to the south of me. And I'm guessing to the southeast of me.
And you did hear the APV pull in,
Mm-hmm.
but you also heard the APV leaving.
Okay, so have I seen any mules? Anything that I could commandeer for faster movement as I've been traveling?
No, actually.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then my next course of action is to
But there may be some kind of mule or something on the ship.
which is kind of my thought. Another reason to move towards the ship. If I was to like peek over the crater as best I could, or use, I still have my medical bag with me, right?
Yeah.
So potentially
I'm
I have
assuming that's
something.
one thing you would not.
Yeah.
drop.
That stays on me. I assume I would have something reflective in there, more than likely. Something that could give, like, if I wanted to like use it to try and find the next most
like a
viable,
little hand
closest.
mirror or something.
Something that would be reflective,
it would
at
probably
least
be
a little bit,
It'll probably be in your kit, your mess kit,
which I assume would still have on me in some manner.
somewhere.
Yeah. So I would like to try and angle to see where I can find the next best cover to get to at the shortest route to move towards that ship.
All right. You can see that the nearest thing you can get by, there is a couple of Alliance troopers. Saw them earlier that had a brown coat that they had apprehended, apparently. But they're coming under fire from the larger unit of Alliance troopers that came up out of that APV, and who are now scrambling for cover. But the area they're in is probably the best point for defense in this area.
Clarify for that for me again. I see Alliance holding a brown coat hostage.
Sorry, flip that. Brown
That's
coats
what I
holding
thought.
the Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see two brown coats holding an Alliance member hostage, and they are now coming under fire from other Alliance.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Are the brown coats currently in a better defensive position, or the Alliance?
The brown coats are.
Okay. So.
Yeah, the Alliance basically got abandoned by their own only real cover So they're just basically dropped as best they could, and they're taking as much cover as they can, but they don't have a lot. So the simple fact that all it takes is one of the two browncoats to stand up and lay down some automatic fire over their heads to keep their heads down is the biggest problem the Alliance are having right now.
Okay, so I definitely want to help out these browncoats right now as best I can. How many Alliance members am I looking at, realistically? 12. Okay. I want to draw their fire away from those browncoats. I don't care about the individual Alliance member. That's fine. I want to draw their fire long enough that I can maybe figure out a way to get over there. I definitely don't have... Shit, another grenade would be really useful. Just one more, just to toss across. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know what I want to do. You know what? I'm gonna just do my best. I'm still wearing the purple pants.
Mhm.
That's fine. I want to try. You said I got 20 yards I got 20 yards to the ship.
Yep.
How close to that defensive area?
Like 10 yards at most.
10 yards at most?
Yeah, 30 feet for the most part.
30 feet? I could make that.
You know you could make a charge over there. What you're worried about is one of the two browncoats turning around and shooting you.
Exactly. That's exactly my problem. Well, they're all seem to be distracted enough. Could I sneak that direction? Could I try and, while they're all fighting each other, could I try and, just get over that direction as quickly as possible?
I don't see why not. That would be
Okay.
very possible. All right,
Okay.
so now how are you going to build this dice pool?
So, I sadly have nothing from my distinctions that's going to help me here. Nothing on here.
How close am I to all this?
You're still down by the ship. There's a browncoat obvious browncoat officer, and probably a browncoat pilot that are using the ship for cover right now. The officer looks like he is hurt, and he's an older officer. The pilot looks okay. He's got a little cut in his forehead, and the pilot is holding a pistol, I assume.
Yeah, like a
Yep.
handgun.
So,
Okay.
and what's your response to the horse riding up on you?
How
Obviously
close
a
is it to us
local.
now?
Huh?
How close is the horse to us at this point?
A few yards away. Like she came riding around. She came riding up to the front of the crash as you guys were moving around to the front of the crash. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna stand in front of the general, between the general and the horse and the gunfire, and I am going to try to position us with the horse between us and the rest of the gunfire, as I'm asking the person on the horse what they're doing here and why they're on a horse.
Trying
The
to
gun
get
isn't
civil-
directly pointed at them, but it wouldn't take me long to get it pointed at them if I need to.
Basically doing the whole holding it up thing, out of line, but you could easily just drop down.
Kind of in a really fast voice, because she's still just amped on adrenaline after watching everything explode around her. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
Very confused still. There's a lot of people here, a lot of shooting. You don't have a gun. What are you doing here?
Well, she has a gun on her hip, but she does not have it drawn by any means.
I know, but everybody else has got guns drawn.
She points back the direction she came from. Remember those explosions a few minutes ago? Yeah, it came from there.
Nope. I was in the air a few minutes ago, so no clue what you're talking about.
Splody, splody, boom, boom. Family gone. I'm trying to get everyone the fuck out of here that I can.
Oh, no engines, and half of the ship's buried in dirt, so probably
Mine's
not.
exploded, so that's better than what I got.
Ray, I'm gonna scan the skies and see if there's a ship coming this way, because I really don't want to be right next to the ship when another ship starts heading this way, especially after what she just said.
Don't see anything right now. One of the biggest reasons, well, you don't see anything in the air directly over air support right now. The main portions of air support seem to be fighters escorting the bombers in, as the bombers are kind of like hitting the opposite valley wall, where it seems to be they think that the majority of the Alliance forces are held up, and they're not wrong. That's where your original landing point was going to be, further over in that direction. So the bombers are flying in that way. The fighters are escorting them. There is a little bit of not alliance, but brown coat aerial aerial support over there, mainly in the form of a few fighters that are still trying to fend off the bombers. But every single time another run of bombers comes through, the browncoats lose a couple of more fighters, and they're quickly losing air support battle. But it is enough to keep the Alliance air support distracted and focused on that.
All right, I'm looking around for an exit.
The best thing you can do is probably fall back the way she came. Way
Is
she
there
came.
Tree cover?
Yeah, what it is when the way she rode up, she came over a small crest that is like on a steeper section of the hill going down into the valley, and she probably had good cover, and she couldn't really see much of what was happening on the other side of the hill until she got over that. So if you go down the same way she came up, you're hopefully you're not going to have direct fire from anybody until someone else literally has to run you down.
Great. I'm going to turn to the general. It looks like her entrance is our exit point.
General looks at you and he says, not as young as I used to be, but keep up this time.
Mariana puts her hand out to try and get him on the horse with her.
General?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, he takes your arm, he pulls himself up. As he takes your arm and tries to pull himself up, his right arm is not fucking working. So he links arm, he goes to pull himself up. He's trying, but he really.
I'm just gonna push him up.
You push him up the rest of the way. All right. It's not the most coordinated thing in the world, but you get his ass up there. What are you gonna be doing? Are you gonna be Mariana? You gonna take it? You gonna just ride out?
Yeah. Might as fucking if this is worse than the way I came from, I'm turning the fuck around.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna try to scan as
nope.
we're going. I just want to make sure that the general has cover. So if I got to stop and shoot at something, I am. But I'm going to try to keep up with them as best I can, short of making sure we're not getting stray bullets in our direction.
Got it. All right. So you're starting to move out. So
is the gear packs we have going on the horse with them, or am I having to carry that stuff out with me?
General couldn't carry it because of his arm, so kind of you had both packs, unless you handed them up to General, which he only has one arm, so he's like clinging on to Mariana with one arm.
No, I got both packs, and I'm gonna start going off with both of the packs.
All right. So you guys start making your way down. Nath.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone from bad to worse.
Mm-hmm.
The two brown coats that were just being sent around to flank these guys now, but the two brown coats that captured you are now taking heavy fire from an Alliance unit. They're in a really they're in a really good position. They're like behind some rock screes and big boulders and stuff, and so they're able to basically just stick the guns up over the boulder and fire a bunch of shots. So they're not in any bad danger at this time. But number one, they're running out of ammunition. Number two, they're way outnumbered, and if they try and make a break from this cover, there is no guarantee they're not going to just get mowed down. And number three, you can see that there is a man not too far away who was ripping off his vest and threw it aside, and it dived into a foxhole.
How far away is this foxhole?
About 10 yards. about 30 feet. And
They're
every now and
busy
then you see
taking
them.
heavy fire, right?
The foxhole is there. People are shooting at the foxhole too because they obviously saw someone dive in there. But every now and then you see him. He pokes his head up and he's looking around and he drops back down. And then you see a couple of dust plumes as bullets like ping off the edge of the hole he's in.
Nathan's gonna look at them trying to take and shoot and
They're
trying to look for that
they're not
exit.
really paying for much attention to you.
Yep.
They
so
disarmed you. So, and I think they put you in zip cuffs.
zip cuff still means my feet work.
Yes.
So
They did not bind your feet because that would be a massive pain in the ass. They might as well just shoot you.
So Nathan's gonna look at all this, roll,
Do I,
and book it for that foxhole.
I'm gonna guess about the time that I'm about to like try to make my move, I just see this squiggly little engineer just sprinting towards me.
It's gonna be better than that. So we're gonna
Yeah.
pause
Okay.
I was gonna say, question: is it zipped to the front or the back?
that. They're zipped in front. They didn't have time to. It wasn't like an arrest. They didn't
Hey,
have that
at
much
least I
time.
can't drop my bag because it'll swing into my arm, so
I
it's
know.
fine.
So, Steven, your unit is like trying to track all these movements out here, and they keep on getting like those two guys ahead of you keep on just like dropping automatic weapon fire, but you know that you only saw two guys, and you know that they can only carry so much ammo. So they keep on spraying like that, and they're going to be out of ammo in just a few more moments. You can also see that the ship that you've been told go and take and capture the Browncoats commander. You can see that there is a bunch of movement at the front, and you see a horse start riding off from the ship with with two people on the horse and a third person kind of trotting along, following on foot with it looks like he's trying to provide fire because he's tracking behind him.
Yeah.
They're moving off down, and you can see that you're going to lose line of sight on them in just a few moments. You also see that there is a number that the Alliance troops to your right, which would be the remains of Clayton's unit, they have basically been kind of shredded, and the Browncoats have been moving forward. You see that there's one Alliance soldier still up, huge guy, and he's got a rifle out, and he's like kind of pressed up against some boulders, and he is both watching the Browncoats coming up in front of him from the line, and he keeps on looking back at this foxhole. Right as you see them looking back at the foxhole, you see from where the two Alliance guys were, you see someone stand up, start running for the foxhole. Right as you see them getting near the foxhole, you see someone stand up in the foxhole and just barrel right into them. They slam together and then both fall backwards into the foxhole.
At least your landing will be far more pleasant.
I was gonna say, talk about a battlefield rendezvous.
Yeah.
That's a battlefield collision, sir. I don't think we can romance that one. That's two people's faces just smacked together in a less pleasant way.
No, you
Handcuffs directly to the face. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I probably just caught hands like this directly into my teeth. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just I am so sorry. Just like roll.
Just as soon as we land back in that foxhole, like I said, Clayton is definitely in that. He is in straight survival, rapid go. He's been through battles before. He knows how quickly shit happens. He sees the handcuffs. He's immediately reaching into his bag for a scalpel or something sharp, and is going to go ahead and cut her free. Just cut them free. Just going to cut their hands free.
First thing you recognize is an Alliance soldier. Purple pants on.
Just the pants, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't
Okay.
have his jacket.
Right.
He's got a bulletproof jacket on, but number one, it's not standard issue. You recognize that. And number two, he is not wearing his insignia, his rank, or his hat. So he has, or his helmet, I should say. So he has none of his gear on except his pants, and you're pretty sure the only reason he didn't take those off is because, conditioning.
Actually, can I scratch that? I don't cut their hands free immediately because of my end goals here.
Yeah.
I am going to swing my gun around and just say,
Are
"You haven't
kidding
seen me. I'm getting the fuck out of here."
That's my plan.
Look,
I-
look,
those-
kid, shut the fuck up, kid.
Mm,
You're leaving too?
those are my ships, and they're doing that to us. No, I'm done. I'm done. I like she's looking for like a rock to hit.
That's okay. Okay, he's gonna keep the gun. Look, I'm gonna keep my gun on you. I'm gonna go ahead and cut you free. Just gonna easily. It's a scalpel. It's gonna just go right through it. I don't have another weapon to give you. If you do one fucking thing, Did you see the guy who turned to mist earlier? I will do that to
I
you
was
too.
on the ground actually having another gun pointed at me, so thank you very much.
Fine, fair. Help me figure a way out of this fucking foxhole.
I saw a ship crash.
I saw that
I don't
too.
know if it's still working though.
I saw it too. Maybe they'll have something we can get the
Something.
fuck out of here.
Maybe I
Okay.
can get it working again. So, make a run for it while they're busy trying to kill each other, or
I got a real big motherfucker currently coming after me. Did you happen to see him on your way into the foxhole?
once again, face to the ground, gun to the back of my head. So,
Okay.
As she's like ripping off her alliance.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna peek my head up again
Okay.
and see if I can see Tiny.
You see him. He's
Mhm.
like, there's a lot of fire hitting the
Mhm.
area where he's at because he's closer to the lines than you were.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, your unit was torn to shreds, and those brown coats are now moving up.
Can I get a clean shot on him to his knee?
It's not going to be a clean shot, but you can take a shot.
I will take a
Okay.
shot.
All right.
I'm trying to make him scream. I want to cut. I'm a doctor. I know where to hit him to make him yell the loudest. That's what I'm wanting to go for here.
All right. So you need to make a gun. You need to make a dice pool. So
So-
first off, your trait, then your skill, which is going to be firearms, and then it's going to be any distinction you can apply. And then if you have any signature item or asset, you put that. And then we start talking about if you want to create some temporary assets or anything like that.
Okay, so for this physical, correct? Physical for shooting, I'm
Yes.
assuming? Okay. So physical shooting.
Especially when it's kind of off the cuff.
That was kind of off the cuff. I'm going to go with physical for this because I'm trying to steady myself to get a clean shot.
Gotcha.
I am veteran of the Unification War. I've currently got one plot point that I earned last time.
Well, I've already made my roll to set the stakes, so I can
Okay.
tell you right now that
Mhm.
you have an opportunity.
Remind me of how to take an opportunity. What it entails for me. I've just forgotten.
So an opportunity is when I roll a okay?
Okay.
And so what happens with that is take the opportunity and it gives you some kind of bonus that lasts for this scene. And
Okay.
you basically get to have is it a D8 or D6, Jonathan? I can't remember.
So that's a D6.
D6. It's a D6 opportunity, which basically you can add into the die roll. Like, oh, he's not looking or something like that.
Okay.
And so you can take that and you can add a die on. You declare what the opportunity is, and that will give you that free extra dice to roll. He doesn't have to spend his plot point to get that, right, Jonathan?
If he wants to buy it, yeah.
Oh, he has to buy it with the plot point. Gotcha.
But also, like you said before, game, since we do get a plot point, beginning of every episode, those do bank.
Yes. Well, he had one from last game, so that's what he's got.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
they bank, and you start every game with 2.
Oh. So
Every game with 2. I
with
thought that every
2?
episode was with 1.
Was it 2 or
Two?
1?
So I have-
Oh, so we have 3.
Every episode, it said every episode was 1.
Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Indy Wolf. I really appreciate it.
So wait, we've got how many plot points?
No, it's 1. It's 1. It's 1. So you have
yeah.
whatever plot points you had left over from last game.
So I have
and then when
2.
you start again,
Cool.
you get 1 more.
Okay. Then I will use a plot point to buy that from you. And I'm going to call it Sidetracked.
Okay.
Just
Basically,
focus is
watching
not
you.
on me.
Yeah.
For sure. And I'm going to go with... Can I spend more than one plot point to build a pool?
You can if you want to. So
Okay.
remember, you can also create like temporary assets, create temporary conditions and stuff like that to give you an extra dice. When you do that, if you're creating a temporary asset, you pay a plot point and it's a d6. So that's basically how you.
I'm going to use my Veteran Unification War, my fighting type. Spend one plot point to step up or double your shoot or fight when you are outnumbered, and currently I am definitely outnumbered.
You're way outnumbered.
So that gives me a dice pool of 3d10 and a d6. Let's see how that goes.
It's not a bad dice pool, man.
No, it's not.
Well, I'll tell
But,
you. I have to tell you what the TN is because I've
Okay.
already rolled it. It's 12.
Okay. I can hit that. Let's find out. That is a 3. 15, and I rolled a single one.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1,
Okay.
and I do have a 15 overall.
All right. So this is what's going to happen. You are going to get a condition. I'm buying that.
Oh. Shit. Real quick. I choose my top 2 dice, correct?
Add them together.
Then that makes a 13.
Perfect. So you're going to get, but because you still rolled the 1, you're
Mhm.
going to get a condition, and that is going to be gun jam. Okay.
Okay.
So what's going to happen with that is it's a D6 condition that I get to add to my dice roll.
Okay.
And you can spend actions to reduce that down. Okay.
Okay.
It starts as a D6, it reduces down to a D4, and then it goes down to nothing. So even though I gave you 1 plot point, you actually have to use 2 to clear it. Okay.
Okay.
And I will let Nath, of course, be able to help out with that. So, but the other thing comes from with that, I add that dice into possible situations that will come up as the thing goes on. So I can use that in other situations.
I do have to be above board here. I did have a former complication, and I want to make sure that you threw that into the dice pool initially.
Is it?
It was Hunted Man. He was specifically hunting me because of what just happened.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I just want to be above board.
No, I didn't add it into the dice pool, but that was my fault because I forgot.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yep. All right, so you guys, you have a 13, so you actually do
Mhm.
succeed.
Yep.
Now, this is, you spent your last plot point, right?
Yep, I am down to 0.
Okay. So what happens at this point is, since you beat me, but you didn't raise the stakes, you're going to give him a condition.
Okay.
Now, because you're not going to take him out completely, but you're going to give him a condition. And so that condition is going to be based on what you do, what you're choosing to do. So you're going to kind of set the condition up by telling me what you're trying to do to him.
So, the goal here is to both incapacitate him and make him an additional distraction here. Since he's already under heavy fire, I'm thinking if I can catch him in the knee or in the thigh, I'm going to cause a lot of pain and make him stumble, with the goal being for him to stumble into the open combat area.
Basically stumble out from behind his cover.
Yeah, with the goal being that realistically another soldier will try to pull him out, and I will keep people from seeing me for a second.
So what I'm going to give him to describe that is a condition called that I'm going to call wean. So
Okay.
What you've done is you got a shot off. It was a clean shot. You basically caught him through the thigh. Naturally, getting a shot fucking hurts. He
Yep.
spun out. He collapses on the ground, and he is basically downed, but he's not undercover. So he's still got basically a protection of laying low, but he's
Yeah.
not behind the boulder anymore.
Mhm.
And so he's going to try and do his best to pull himself back into cover or try and bail out of there because he has got no cover and now he's been shot in the leg. So it's not a good situation for him. But he is obviously way too busy to do anything about you guys at this point.
That was the goal.
All right. So there is one thing I want to do right now because I want to get started and kicked off early. I'm going to go ahead and start our giveaway for the evening. Now, what that means is I'm going to be starting a giveaway that's going to appear in chat. For the next 20 minutes, you're going to be able to type the keyword into chat as it appears in the little instructions that are going to pop up. When the 20 minutes ends, that's going to end the chances to get tickets. Remember that followers, you must be a follower to get a ticket, and that followers get 1 ticket and subscribers get 2 tickets. So I'm going to go ahead and start that now. And there it is. And the keyword is !vampire.
It works.
Yes, it does.
And hopefully, as long as I don't miss one of these, I can rack up, double-digit tickets again and hopefully win this one.
Well, I mean, Celtic Vern King had like 12 tickets last time.
Yep. No, 14 if you include the Emerald Sanctums game before you did Kingdoms.
Oh, yeah. And so
I had 14 tickets.
Yeah, and you had 14 tickets. And then I think Admiral only had 6 or something like that, or 4,
Yep.
maybe not even that many.
Yeah, I think. No, I think it was about 6 because I remember a few people essentially gifted him tickets just because he kept missing out on Orcus.
So anyway, for the next 20 minutes, that's going to be up there. So you guys go ahead and type that into chat for the chance to pick up those. My brain just went out my butt.
Raffle tickets.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
And as I said it, the bot had great timing.
What did the bot do?
It threw my link up.
Oh,
Yeah, do the
good
whole
job.
want to follow.
Yes. Yes, Dagbot is a very good bot. He used to be a very bad bot because he used to.
I
ban
remember
people.
that.
He used to ban people randomly.
Oh,
Weird.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
he used to be a
recall
very
those
bad
days.
bot. But we went through negotiations and he's been very nice lately.
Bribery will get you somewhere.
Yeah, well. I
Threatening
sacrificed
to
the, I
delete you
sacrificed
will
the
also
digital
do it.
chicken to him. What was that?
So blackmail or bribery, that's how we function.
Oh, yeah.
Threatening
Yes.
to delete him probably helped.
Yeah, well. Now, so that's what you did. Kel.
Yep.
Steven is seeing this stuff happen. The browncoats, once Nath runs off, the browncoats begin like reassessing their situation because once they realize she's gone, they got no freaking reason to stick around, and they know they can hear the other browncoats coming up the hill, but they also don't know how soon they're going to get there. So they begin like basically just running down the hill and literally just firing their guns off behind them on almost full automatic as they're just trying to flee down the hill to get to cover. But they're moving towards the ship, but that's just because it's the biggest amount of cover.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to, tell squads like, hey, let's push forward. But I'm going to stay kind of toward the rear a bit on this one because what I'm going to attempt to do, and I pray to the gods this works, make it look like I get, and I'll do standing orders like keep pushing no matter what, and just do as a standing order, essentially, and make it look like I get hit and fall.
So,
I'm trying to make it where I'm faking my death here. I'm trying to fake my death here.
all right. So let's do
Hopefully.
this.
Hopefully.
All right. How are you going to make this dice pool?
Definitely, I would more than likely have to use trick here. So I know that's definitely the skill I'm using. It's just trying to figure out what attribute I would use, whether it be physical or mental on this one. I think probably more mental. Yeah. And that's a D10.
Not going to have a big dice pool to go against because these are grunts and soldiers and they're under fire. So
Yeah, so I definitely sneak and trick.
Oh my god. Okay, so have the chance to buy an opportunity. Hey Jonathan, remember that one time when we were rolling so many ones, we thought that the automatic dice roller was broken?
Yeah.
We may be looking at that again.
Well, did you roll like 3 of
two
them?
ones.
Oh.
Well, don't change what you're doing, man.
Ray,
What?
that's just my luck when I'm DMing, whether I'm using an automatic dice roller or not. So,
My god, you wouldn't believe this one game. And it wasn't just me. Everyone was rolling ones.
do you know how many times my players at Gen Con actually had to fight in 5 games because I rolled ones?
Alright, so.
Once. Once out of 5 games in 6 opportunities for a fight to happen. Once.
Alright, so what are you making the dice pool out of?
Well, right now it's definitely just my mental and sneak. I'm trying to think if I should, because the only distinction that would probably fit here is, even though I don't have any triggers for it, is Veteran of Unification War.
That's
Because I've been,
get you a D8.
yeah. I was trying to think of any of my other ones with like Information Broker, but there's no way I can play that in my head to make them work. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to buy that complication off or opportunity off you.
It'll give you
And how
another D6.
Yep, and I'm trying to figure out how it flavored, how it would be relevant for this.
Well, you can go ahead and tell me you buy it, and if you can't think of anything, I can do it.
Nah, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna save my plot points.
Okay, you got it. So, what is your dice pool consisting of?
It's gonna be a 3d8s. Oh no, hold on, not 3d8s. No, a d10 and 2d8s. Ugh.
D10, 2d8s?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and your target number is a 5. Because I literally rolled a 1, 2, and 3.
Are you fucking kidding me? I beat the 5, but I rolled 2 1s.
Oh. How many dice do you have total?
I had 3 dice.
Okay, so you can't add ones to anything.
Yeah, I got 8 on one of the dice. So
Ah,
I still beat the
gotcha,
5.
Gotcha. So I'm going to buy both of them. So you now have 2 more plot points.
So
but you now have the condition. I really got shot. And the stray bullet from the battlefield comes whipping by as you're staging your death, catches you in the shoulder, spins you around, and you've been shot. And I'm going to use the second that I'm buying to stage it up. So now it's also you've been shot, and now I'm bleeding out.
All right, so it's called I've actually been shot and bleeding out.
Yep.
Oh, thank God, my guy was a corpsman before being made sergeant.
At least he has medical training.
Yeah.
Anyone with medical training will tell you the one person you should not try and use your medical training on is yourself.
Use yourself.
Yeah.
I'm nearby though.
Out of curiosity, where was I actually shot? Like you said, straight bullet hit me. Where did it hit me though?
It's in the shoulder.
Shoulder.
Okay, at least it wasn't a gunshot. That
Oh
could be
no!
bad.
I'm not gonna make it lethal yet.
Yeah.
The yet that was there.
So that gives me now a D8 to my dice pools against you.
Yeah. Oh.
So you did, although I will say this, you did successfully make it look like you've been shot.
That is a plus.
I mean, I'm just saying, you successfully made it look like you've been shot.
Look, you
Congratulations.
failed so hard, you succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took that video of the the Axoid thing where like they hit the ceiling and it still hits bullseye.
Yes.
And you can't buy that type of luck, sir.
Apparently you can.
No, no, you're right. I did. I bought.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Oh.
all right, Wyatt.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's Wyatt and Mariana. You got Mariana. The horse is, you and the horse is obviously now under a lot of weight. got 2 people on it. It's starting to ride out. The commander is kind of like leaning on your back, and he's like, you can hear him kind of like breathing hard, and he's like, he says, slow down, I broke some ribs.
She slows down a little bit.
All right. So as you slow down to accommodate commander, Wyatt.
Yeah.
You see as she's slowing down over the crest of that hill that blocks them from line of sight, you see about 6 brown coats coming over the hill, and the first thing they see is her on the horse. The next thing and none of them seem to have noticed you because they're all beelining for them, and they're lifting their rifles.
Oh, now is a great time to take some shots.
Okay.
I thought this was a brown coat general.
Huh?
I said I thought this was a brown coat general. No.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Did you not say
They're
alliance were cresting the hill, or you
He
said
said
brown
brown
coats?
coats.
Size bad. Alliance.
You
meant to
said
say
brown coats.
I
That
know
makes
you
a
said
huge difference.
Does
For
make
the
a huge
most part,
difference.
for the
Yeah,
at this point,
now you're having the proper reaction I was looking for. Panic.
at this point, if Ray says alliance, just switching to brown coats to
Yes.
make contact.
It's been happening. It's understandable.
I'm dyslexicing.
Oh yeah, no, it's completely understandable. Even when I was
Mhm.
talking to my friends about this game, I was getting it mixed up.
Yes, rolling dice is much better. Okay, so
I don't know how I feel about that face.
I know. that just seems like a whole.
Wrong franchise.
I thought you said you weren't trying to make things fatal yet.
I wasn't. I can't control my dice.
Yeah, that face there was the equivalent of the whole like, ooh, piece of candy.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why. Ooh, this is gonna go great for me.
Okay, so have you made your dice pool, Jonathan?
Yes. I was trying to decide exactly how I'm going to approach the situation.
Okay.
But I decided I'm gonna kind of do like a risky maneuver here.
All right.
Just gonna use my ability to kind of take some risky shots.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Would riding the horse count as if I was doing a skill check, a drive check? That's the only thing I can think of that's close to it.
No, I don't think it would actually. It's kind of weird. You were like well versed with horsemanship. You might, and I can allow you to change your skills up if you want to, because I was thinking about it. Because there's lines you can create your own skills. Because that would be more of a ride thing. I'm gonna try and bring up character sheet fast so I can say anything to you.
Okay, I've got both, and they're both the same.
Gotcha. You can roll that.
Okay, I'm assuming I see this line of Alliance officers, right?
It's not officers, but yeah, it's
Oh,
troopers.
front.
So there are yeah, oh yeah. No, yeah, you can see it.
As Wyatt's doing his thing, Mariana's gonna try and do a controlled slide with the horse to get it over on its side.
Okay. Oh, you're laying the horse down?
I'm laying the horse down.
You know the horses don't like that,
I know.
right?
I don't think a horse likes being shot either.
No, they like that much better than laying down.
Yeah, you're gonna love my roll, Ray.
I saw it already. You rolled it in the die roller.
I know.
Oh god.
All right. So, I need you to make your dice pool because we're all gonna roll this at the same time, and I'm
Okay.
gonna give you the target number right now. 18.
Okay.
Hmm.
How do I make my dice pool for this?
You're gonna take your physical, the attributes you're gonna use, which is probably gonna be physical for this,
Okay.
plus the operate skill,
Uh-huh.
and so then you're gonna take anything you can think of with your distinctions that might help. If none of them look like they help from their descriptions, you can also look at your not the attributes, but the assets, and see if any of your assets will help. And if none of that helps, you may create a temporary asset for this scene, such as I don't know, custom bridle or something like that. Something that lets you give you a little bit of control over the horse or something along those lines, and you'll have an extra D6, but that costs you a plot point.
I'm gonna use a plot point because I didn't use one last time, so I got 2 of those motherfuckers.
All right. So
If you want to take something that's a little more generic, you can also take that this is like your personal horse, so you have a relationship with the horse.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Like, this is my childhood horse. Like, I hand raised this motherfucker from itty bitty little horsey.
Oh, fuck.
Sparkles has always been a good boy.
Sparkles has always been a good boy. All right.
If it makes you feel better, listen, I'm pretty sure I shot the hell out of these people.
Cool.
Okay, so Jonathan.
Yeah.
I am gonna buy that.
I figured you were.
Yeah.
I mean, you bought everything so far, so I just went ahead and already like assumed I was getting that plot point.
Got a plot point, and I'm buying that that complication.
Mm,
New emotional damage, but give it time.
uh,
Oh, I think we're about to have some.
14.
Cool. All right. So you have your 2 highest dice equal 14. Yes.
Oh, 2 highest?
Yes. It's only the 2
No.
If you want to use more than 2, you spend a plot point for every one you want to use after that.
Fuck,
highest.
okay.
And did you roll
But
any
you-
ones?
But you can't
No.
buy any of the
Okay.
ones. Like ones
I
are never
rolled a 4, a
purchasable.
3, and a 7.
4, 3, and a 7. So it's a 14. You only have to spend 1 plot point to keep the 3rd dice, and that'll get you a 14.
You said the target number was what?
18.
I'm not spending a fucking
'Cause
plot point if it's not gonna get me anywhere.
I rolled a 10 and an 8.
Okay, yeah, I'm not spending the plot point to keep it, so,
Well, One thing I will say though is that if he beats your roll by 5, doesn't the GM get the equivalent of the big damn hero dice like we do if it rolls over 5?
Not big
It-
damn hero dice, but I can slap on complications, right?
Yeah, so like, what'll happen is like it increases the level of the problem that you're gonna have.
Yeah.
fuck.
So,
So, like-
just a heads up there.
So
Alright.
so like you might have like a D6, like if you lose you might get like a D6 broken bone or something, or like D6 injury, whatever. But like you lose by 5 or more, it's gonna be like a D8 injury or whatever it's gonna be.
Right. Steps it up. And remember, if you ever get put to if you're the last one is a D12, and if you get anything stepped up beyond that, you're out of the scene
Yeah.
and possibly dead.
Where's
Oh, I
our
forgot-
spot for freaking health?
Do you
There's
remember
no
now?
health. Like
There's
it's
no
it's
health.
complications.
Yeah. And there's not really a section for that. I just gotta keep a notepad for it.
Yeah, and the big thing about the complications, the kind of fun thing about the complications, is that you could have like right now, I think I'm winning. I have a 16, or is it 18? You have a 16, Jonathan?
Me? No, I have that number you see. I have a 23.
You can't. That adds a 1 into it.
I didn't buy the 1. I bought the 8, the 8, and the 7.
Oh, it is 23. My brain didn't work. How'd you make it not
Yeah.
add the 1 in?
Well, because I wrote the code so that, like,
Oh,
see
I
at the
see
very
it.
end where it says keep 3? Like, I wrote that code so it just keeps the 3 that I wanted, so it drops the lowest.
Got it.
I-
Okay, so
I was trying to make it easy. I don't have to add. It just shows me the number.
that's very nice. So that is a 23. I have an 18, so you
That
I
is
beat it by
5. The complication, however, I'm going to give you is called Return Fire.
All right. What was the best die they rolled?
The best was the 10 on a D10.
So I get a big damn hero D10.
Yes, you do.
Noise.
Now, for the return fire complication, this is what's going to happen. It's not going to affect you, Jonathan. It is going to affect Mariana.
Not
Hey.
Sparkles. No, Ray, not Sparkles.
So, as Mariana, as you're like trying to maneuver, are we gonna call the horse Sparkles?
Sure.
Yes.
As you're trying to maneuver Sparkles and get Sparkles
Right.
to lay down.
Right, I just want to change the tense real quick. Were we going to call the horse Sparkles?
Oh.
R.I.P.
The
Sparkles.
Alliance troopers up on the top of the hill open up. You hear bullets thumping into the ground around you. The horse rolls over with you and the commander. But instead of the horse like instantly trying to get back up, the horse is just laying there.
My complication is just named R.I.P. Sparkles.
R.I.P. Sparkles.
Operation Horseshoe.
You've lost your transportation, but you've gained cover.
Okay, Hassan, there's your emotional damage, Hassan, by the way.
Oh, nope. We're gonna keep
Wait,
that
wait,
joke right
wait,
here.
Ray.
Yeah.
So basically, what we've learned so far is the captain has lost a vehicle every game.
Okay,
This does
So,
not
man-
look good.
so even though Mariana's gonna be the captain, the deed to the next ship should not be in their name.
So,
This is my
Technically, the
favorite
deed
ship.
for the horse
This is my
on the
favorite
ship
horse.
was not in my name either.
what's that?
I said the deed for the horse and the ship was not in my name. It was in my family's name.
Maybe it should be in your name then. Maybe it's a familial thing.
All right.
Maybe we should give it to the war criminals. It's
And
fine.
but Jonathan,
Oh,
because
Cosmo.
these were basically just grunts, you basically cap off your. I mean, I'm assuming you have another clip, but you just light them up with your clip, and they either are running or they're taken down.
So they fall over on the horse trying to avoid the cover, and I just like walk into it, like just like clipping them like a badass.
Pretty much.
You
Because
pulled a
they're
John
all
Wick.
facing towards the horse, so they kind of just lined up, and you just like stood at the end of the line and just kept on firing as one fell.
Ray, I'm gonna walk over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unvelcro their body armor plate, and I'm just gonna like throw two of them over to them and be like, maybe that'll help.
You see Mariana just scramble to get this shit off. She's like, I was not
Then
prepared.
I'm gonna go up the hill a little bit, Ray,
Yeah.
but carefully, because I just want to be able to peek over and get an idea of how bad things might be coming at us from over the hill that I couldn't currently see.
So you see that the browncoats have been advancing on the Alliance. This small contingent of Alliance, it was like I said, it was about half a squad. You don't know where they came from, but they obviously were trying to sneak through the lines to get to the ship. And the browncoats have been trying to hold them off the ship to buy whoever's in the ship time. You can see that there is a mule, a browncoats mule that is coming at you, coming in this direction from pretty much from the Alliance's supply depot in the back, which is where they, their weapons dump and stuff like that. And so it's just hauling ass across open ground towards you guys. But you can also see that there is more Alliance troops coming from further down the line as they're advancing up the line, and it looks like the major portion of the fight is coming to you guys. The one other thing you can see is off in the distance, you can make out 5 dots in the sky that are banking around and obviously getting ready to come in on your head.
All right. If the mule stays on its current trajectory, is it going to arrive directly where we are, or just in our general area?
It's making for the ship, so it's gonna arrive a little bit behind you, unless you like wave it down or something like that. But if you wave it down, you have to get, I'm assuming you're just like peeking over the hill right now.
I'm peeking over the hill right now. I am going to grab something metal I've got, and I'm gonna use it to sort of like reflect the sun sort of like towards the mule, so like they can kind of see that, and hopefully they'll come in this direction, and then kind of come up just enough for them so that they can kind of see that I'm wearing the brown coat uniform, and then sort of like kind of get back down so I'm not in the middle of the fire.
Okay. All right. So you do that.
And then look back down at Mariana and say, get the general and bring him up here now. We got an exit, but you better move fast. Air support is coming in, and it's not our air support.
Already ahead of you. She grabs the general by the arm that is not injured.
You go to turn around, and you realize the general hasn't gotten up.
Ah, fuck. I think the general, she does a general check on the general.
Oh, he's breathing, but you can see that he's basically taken a couple of rounds, and he is kind of like looks like he's having trouble breathing, and he has taken 2 rounds to the torso, but you don't know how bad the damage is, but you would want to get this man to a doctor now.
He needs more than medical attention for his arm. He got hit in that barrage. I might need some assistance.
Okay. I need you to get him up here now while I make sure that we have cover, and we will get him onto the vehicle that can get him medical care if there's not a trained professional on that vehicle.
All right. And she's like, you see her like pull the general up. Come on, dude.
Yeah, he's not conscious and he's not able to walk. You can drag him?
Can I slap him across the face?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. You can slap this unconscious, bleeding, and beaten man across the face.
No, Ray, I'm running down and I'm like, get up there and provide cover support. Ray, I'm going to
I was like, what the
grab
fuck's cover
his
support?
clothing by the shoulder area,
Uh-huh.
and then kind of like lift him up just a little bit so like I'm not dragging his head or anything, and then
Yeah.
start sliding him up the hill, pulling him that way.
All right. So, Mariana, are you going to go up to the top of the hill? Did you hand her like one of the Alliance guns or something?
She's got her pistol
Oh,
on
she's got
her
a pistol?
hip.
All right. So are you going to crawl up to the edge of the hill?
Yeah.
All right. So as you're looking out, you can see exactly what I described to Wyatt. You can see that there is a mule coming, streaking across the valley floor, coming at you guys. You can see that there is more Alliance troops coming. There's no more brown coat troops coming, and you can see that the brown coat troops that are still here are pretty much in a firefight to try and hold back the Alliance that are here as well. They seem to be they were doing very, very well until the other Alliance troopers started advancing on them. So now things don't look nearly as winnable as they did previously.
Does this look like a wild mule, or does it look like it came from my family's ranch?
Oh no, a mule is a hover vehicle.
Oh, I thought it was an actual animal.
Where's my clip button?
Yeah, please clip that. We're gonna talk.
Look, you just killed my fucking horse. Of course, I'm thinking it's an animal.
No, we're gonna toss up to the possible concussion they have from getting blown about by air from the gunships earlier.
All right.
I'm hoping you
Okay,
keep
this
it to
mule is
one
gonna be the
destroyed
new
vehicle
Sparkles.
per
I
episode.
blame the fact I'm sick with COVID right now.
There you go. That is proper.
If we ever keep the mule for the ship, we can name it Sparkles.
Yep,
Oh, God.
Rattle can horse on the side. On the flank, it just says R.I.P.
All right.
Is it too much if we like spray paint a pink horse on the side of that mule?
No, nope, that's rattle can on the pink. This is the plan.
Dave will do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Name of this clip is Oh Sparkles.
Sparkles 2.0.
I was going to say Sparkles 2. Sparkles 2 is coming up the hill.
The best part about it, it's not alive, so it can't die.
That's true.
That's what you think.
If
Unless
we've
it
learned
runs out of
anything
gas.
from this battle,
I will
plenty
give it
things can
a
blow up.
personality and then kill it.
All right. Ray, when I get back up to the top of the hill with the general,
Yeah.
Do I see how far the mule is away?
The mule is probably about halfway to your position, and so you think it's going to be there in a few, like maybe a minute, at the speed it's traveling at. But the dots in the sky are much closer, and you can see that those are 2 Alliance bombers escorted by 3 Alliance fighters. Clayton and Nath are in that foxhole.
Mm-hmm.
All the fire still happening. What are you guys gonna try and do?
Hoping that Big Boy is a distraction. Actually, I'm gonna guess he's to the north. He was to the northwest
Yes.
because that's where we were heading. I had to bounce back when everything happened. So now he's not there anymore. The Alliance Browncoats are still firing at each other, but they're to.
Oh, remember I said the 2 Browncoats guys were trying to run off towards the ship, but they were like just like emptying the rest of their clips back at the Alliance.
Okay.
Giving themselves cover to run, basically.
And we have. Oh, and the foxhole, the little crater that we're in, is actually closer to the ship than I was originally, right? So I've got about another 20 yards to it, right?
Yes.
About 60 feet. Okay.
I'm thinking we should make a run for it.
I'm with you. Do I see another gun anywhere around that I can give to this engineer?
Actually not. Well, remember, you can always, you or Oz can spend a plot point to take a temporary asset.
It's true.
You can pick up a gun just about anywhere you want to.
Okay.
This is a battlefield, after all. You can just say,
Yeah, that's what
I'm spending a plot point and I'm getting a gun. Spending a plot point and I'm getting a bazooka.
I just saw you shoot. So if I get that gun over there, do you know how to use it?
I look down at the gun that I'm physically holding and look around.
That's jam. That's
It
been jam
is,
for a
but
bit,
I can fix it. But I can. You throw me a weapon, I can use it.
All right, I get you that weapon. I help you fix that one. We make a run for it. And did we see Mitchell go down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And then I mean, there might be something on that guy over there.
The dead guy. We can go loot
dead
that dead guy.
Oh, I'm looking for bodies actively to loot.
Yeah. All right.
I'm actively doing.
We pop up. We run
actually,
over there.
Were there only ever 2 brown coats?
Yep.
That had captured. I thought it was a group of like 5, and those 2 were what was left.
Oh
No.
No. That might be true too. I don't remember the exact number. So I remember there was only 2 there, but I don't remember how many was originally in the unit that sent around. But it would have been half a squad, so it probably would have been 6. There might
6?
be 4.
So there's probably 4 bodies on the ground over there that are.
Yeah, because they got blown up in the same bombardment that killed Nate's squad. That's what it was.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're gonna run to where I just put that guy on the ground. He's still alive, but he shouldn't be too much of a problem. Real quick, I think I have 1 plot point now. I think I'm down to 1 because I gained 1, used 1, and I think I have 1 now because I had 2 to start with. I'm gonna use a plot point. Since my gun is jammed, I'm gonna throw my jam gun to Nath. I am going to use a plot point to get another gun to have it. Just grab this as we sprint towards Tiny. Down Tiny, I'm going to scoop up his gun.
Okay.
I'm going to scoop up the gun that he was carrying.
All right.
And keep moving towards.
Going,
Yeah.
and
If
then
I
we're
were-
going to get to Mitchell eventually.
Well, I was
I
gonna
have
say,
a suggestion
wasn't
for
I
the
in the
name.
middle between, like, wasn't my squad originally in the middle between where Clayton, Nate, and Tiny were?
You're between them and the Browncoats, yeah.
Yeah, because Tiny was close to the Browncoats from where they were advancing from where their squad was one.
Tiny was behind Clayton. He was chasing Clayton.
Yeah.
And then
Okay, so
it
Tiny,
kind
Clayton,
of
my
goes like
squad.
this.
So Mitchell is like between us and the ship, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're on the way.
No, I'm not saying it's like, wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure I wasn't going to be in between those two. Okay.
Oh,
I got
if
it.
wait, yeah, if sorry,
That's okay.
if Tiny's behind me, I'm going the other direction. He's
Yeah.
down. He's just a he's getting people to not look at me for a second. Is
Yeah.
my goal.
Yeah. Because remember,
Uh,
you were coming from the direction of the Alliance lines.
Yeah, and I'm
going
going
towards
for
the
okay.
ship.
Uh,
And Tiny was behind you.
And so that means the
Okay.
brown coats were in front of me, correct?
Yes. And they're still
We're
technically in
moving-
front of you. They're just
well-
running their ass off.
We're moving to the cover where they were, and I'm just gonna scoop up a gun on the way because other people have died here. I'm gonna just
Yeah.
grab
Other people died.
preferably a gun that is clearly a brown coat gun.
Gotcha.
That's the goal here. And on the way, do I see any fallen brown coats?
Yeah.
Maybe with a similar pant size.
I don't think you can properly judge pant size on the run.
Well,
You
I'll,
can
I'll
try and
say
get the
too-
same height. I'll give you that.
That's what I'm going
Oh,
for. Yeah.
As they're running past me, or as they're running, do they get near me at all?
They were coming to loot your body. Actually.
Yeah, we're coming
We're
to
kind
steal
of we're
things off
moving
your dead
cover
body,
to cover.
You're
We're
a
and
moving
it's
big
gonna
cover
be
to
a
Okay.
little
cover.
bit of a surprise. It's gonna be
Maybe
fun.
you have a similar pant size.
No, because he's in alliance pants. That's not going to help me.
Oh.
I need
He already has
non-alliance
purple pants. He doesn't need more
Yeah.
purple pants.
I feel like
I-
this
I'm pretty
entire
sure they're
section
more
right
red
now
now.
is just phrasing.
See, at least Natha was in like the jumper for the mechanic
Yeah.
shop, so she's just got like a t-shirt and some jeans on underneath,
Yep.
just like I am a civilian. Hello.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I was like when Johnson when the fucking riot was going. Give me some cover fire. It's like, ow. That means I shoot at them, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
Yes,
what
we're
we're gonna
booking
do
So-
is
to
before
Mitchell.
we get to the scene where you guys get to Steve, I'm gonna say we're gonna take a 10-minute break because I am totally out of drink, and the raffle thing is concluded. So I hope everyone got in there. Let me see. Got a lot of people in. That's wonderful. And so we're going to go ahead, and the raffle is already done for the night. But we will still be continuing this little bit of adventure, and we are going to come back in 10 minutes. Actually, 15 minutes. We've learned better than to say 10 anymore. So we will be coming back at 10:10 Central Standard Time, and we will see y'all in 15 minutes. Thank you so much. little break. We really appreciate it. By the way, I just threw up in chat because I forgot about this. Tomorrow night, the Rolling for Charity organization is going to have a charity stream. It is going to be 2 D&D 5e games that are going to be run by 2 of their GMs, and this is going to be for relief effort for the Ukraine. Any way you guys can support this would be appreciated. The link is in chat. If you can share it out, I'm going to probably put it out a couple more times tonight. But this is a wonderful charity situation going on, and it is also being helmed and it's being helped along by our own Game Raider girl, Ivy Shadow, and so wanted to throw her lots of love and make sure that we can get that information out to as many people as possible. So please, if you can, share that link, and if you can also watch and donate, amazing. Thank you. All right, so you guys are looking for
Trauma.
a weapon. You're running over to where Tiny was brought low.
No, we
Opposite direction.
figured that
Opposite
out. We're
direction,
opposite direction. Yeah,
Oh, so now
heading
you're just going to scramble.
towards.
You're going for the
we're
cover
trying
where
to-
the brown coats originally were.
Correct.
Gotcha.
We're trying to move towards that ship.
I will say one thing. Steve's unit has, since the brown coats were running, Steve's unit has advanced up to that position. No one went back to pick up Steve. But they
So
moved
if
up to
they've
that
moved up-
position. So you would actually, technically, probably have to run where Steve is, relatively speaking.
Okay,
because-
that's
or
yeah.
or you would have to run past the unit because you're still technically in brown coat. Or,
Or
sorry,
in,
Alliance
yeah,
uniform.
Alliance uniforms.
You have to run past the unit and run down the hill.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about them not picking me up, I mean, good soldiers follow orders.
You're right. We are still in Alliance gear. Okay.
So
Some.
they're moving up
Nick-
quickly now that the browncoats have basically, the browncoats have spent the rest of their ammo just giving themselves cover as they ran down the hill, and so now there's not anything more than like a sporadic pistol shots coming at them. So they're starting to advance more quickly, and they're laying down more suppressing fire, try and get in there quick.
So just to get my angles right here, we're attempting to go downhill. That's our ultimate goal here. They were flanking the browncoats, correct? That was his groups. That was Steve's groups.
Technically, they were coming down. They were coming from downhill, because they're coming from the Alliance base up the top of the valley.
Yeah.
So they're coming downhill. The browncoats were coming up from below,
Mhm.
and they were actually, as the ship was coming down, that half squad was coming around to try and flank your unit, where your unit was going in.
Okay.
What ended up happening was, as they were coming around, they must have gotten spotted or something like that. They were getting lit up. Those two of the last 2 guys survived. Then the ship crashes.
Mhm.
They ended up when the dog gets blown up, they end up capturing Nath. They're trying to figure out what to do with her. At the same time, the ship crashes. Now they're doing the whole double back. What we gonna do? We got her. We got that. Blah blah blah.
So us going towards Steve is going up or downhill? That's the
It's
question.
going kind of sideways.
Kind of sideways. Okay. Perfect then. That's fine. I'm fine with lateral movement, just not
Yeah.
upward movement.
Away,
Yeah.
not up, away.
Yes, away. That's the goal.
Yeah, and
Okay, so if they've
Steve
moved forward,
has patches and such. You have a rank, right?
yeah.
Mm, yep. If Natha sees that, she's gonna want to go for that body
Okay, yeah.
because if anything, we get caught by Alliance. Be like, we were trying to retrieve this valuable information. We get caught by browncoats. Hey, look what I got! I'll trade you.
Get me out of here, and you can have this guy.
You can have this guy.
Okay, so the Alliance have moved further downhill, so we can literally right now we have no one that is watching us, right? Aside from Tiny over here, who I'm not worried about anymore. It's fine. He's screaming. He can do his thing. That's fine.
Tiny
then, yeah,
can be the
we're-
distraction.
He's
Yeah.
there are likely people looking to go over there. more than
Yeah.
likely. Okay. Then yeah, running straight over to where Steve is and looking at that body.
Yeah.
That is the goal.
Okay.
Kind
Yeah.
of sliding in, and I'm going to immediately want to check the body for anything useful at all. Be that a gun, be that a communication pad, be that
That's
ammo, anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as whoever decided to go up first and start pilfering my body, essentially, I'm just
Well,
gonna
you hear
grip my.
boots running towards you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stay still for a moment because I don't know who they are, so I want to kind of see if I can get make sure they're within my peripheral first. And
I mean,
Like,
you've
that's-
probably seen Natha before.
And you've
You had
definitely
to have
seen
anything worked on.
you've
Yeah.
definitely seen me. That's
He's
been
an
something
engineer.
that we definitely come across.
yeah.
but,
But I also just got shot, so it depends on how clear my vision is.
as we're running in, I'm definitely like, okay, look here, kid. Find anything useful. If that's guns, if that's anything at all, just start looking at anything over here. And I'm going to start checking Steve's body. Like literally gonna just like roll him over is kind of my first
Oh.
move.
You get rolled over. It really
Just
fucking
immediately.
hurts.
Yeah. At that point, I just groan as loud as possible, going like,
Ah,
Oh,
shit.
he's alive.
Got alive, one of your boys.
Wait,
Gonna roll him back over, and again, gun in face. Don't fucking move.
Is this playing signature
actually, we
move?
should move. We should get him on his feet, and we should go. They're getting closer.
And that would be the moment that I probably
Yeah.
notice that there are ships coming in.
yeah.
Okay, you're fucking coming with us. Don't think what happened. And do I see? Were you carrying a gun, Steve?
Yeah, because I would have my sidearm on a holster. Now, whether I still have my rifle in hand is a different story. I don't know if I dropped that when I fell or
It'd be
not.
nearby though.
It'd be
Yeah.
nearby. Okay.
It'd probably be maybe like not even a foot from my body, I'm guessing.
Gonna yank that up, sling my busted one over my shoulder, and just leave that be.
Yeah.
Yank up his gun and start like basically put it to his back and start moving forward. That's my goal here because I know. Just fucking move it.
You've been
Okay, we're gonna-
captured.
Yeah, it's
Bye.
because like
By
as we're-
your own troops.
because as we're moving, I'm assuming it's like I'm pretty much gonna say like, so I'm assuming y'all ain't alliance.
Not anymore. Nope.
Nathan just points at the sky and is like, "They're shelling everyone. Are you still Alliance?"
Who said? Oh no! At this point, I go. Who said I ever was?
There is on the other side of that where the unit was
Just
brown,
pointing it at the
not
coat.
just the two brown coats, but there's where
Oh my-
there was that's where the unit was. So there are several brown coat bodies just up ahead.
Okay. Those Alliance guys are still moving downhill. Correct?
Yes.
They're moving towards
They're
them.
actually-
How many are left at this point?
They didn't actually take many of them out.
Mhm.
In fact, Steve's one of the few casualties because remember they weren't like popping up and actually taking shots at them.
Yeah,
they were just
trying to.
spraying, just trying to
Yeah.
keep the Alliance troops' heads down. So there's probably like 8 of them left. There's
So
only
this
2
is-
brown coats and they're down to pistols.
So at this point, between the three of us, there is one active rifle.
Yep.
I'm guessing.
And one
Well,
active
that-
shooter.
No one
One
needs to
active
know
shooter.
that mine doesn't work, though.
No one needs to know that mine doesn't work.
Trying to think of a way to take these Alliance guys out. That's my best bet. You said never were,
I said, who
Talking
said
to
I ever
Steve.
was?
ever was.
I mean, your coat for one. That's
Still
that's
actively
strength
moving
you got
like
there.
down
Yeah.
at an
Yeah.
angle, trying
Well,
to stay behind them.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of help prove that point, I mentioned I'm going to slowly reach into my pocket, and I'm reaching toward my back pocket so
Okay.
they can see exactly
Nice
what
and
I'm drawing.
slow.
Yep. You see, like slowly pull out the encrypted communicator I had to talk to the brown codes, like what I would
Right.
use to send out messages.
You're probably better at that shit than I am. Take that, check it out, see if he's telling the truth here.
It's not Alliance tech.
This is.
Yeah, like you can tell, like you look at it.
Immediately
Like,
tell it's not. Okay.
Nathan's face actually is just like, this is so low tech. Like, this is. How did you even communicate with this?
It's like a little kid that's promised a brownie and then given an oatmeal raisin cookie.
I'm glad to. No, no, he's got a point. Yeah, he's got a point.
Okay. I'm willing to trust you for right now, just to get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But you make one wrong move, and I'll put you down.
So, real quick, I should ask this. Ray, what shoulder was I shot in, left or right?
Left.
Oh, good. I can't really make a wrong move. Steven's left-handed, including on the gun.
Oh. I'm learning this as I tell you. Okay, if you can help me take these guys out, we will have a shot to get down there. I want to make it to that ship. That's my goal, is to make it to that ship. See if I can find anything to get us out of here. But we gotta move.
I was like, at that point, Steven's
Is
going
there
to suggest
any
like,
communications coming through?
On his item?
Wait, on the encrypted one or the one I have for the Alliance for like radio, like
Either.
squad communication?
There's tons of chatter going on the Alliance box. Number one, there is a warning going out on the Alliance box, warning everyone who is near the high value target that command has decided to eliminate the high value target, and that area is about to be carpet bombed.
Which are they flying north to south?
Fine.
Or east to west?
Yeah.
Pretty much north to
We're
south.
fine.
North to south.
They're gonna
Yeah.
light this entire little path down, sorry, not path, but this entire
Strip.
thing down the valley. They're gonna melt it.
Okay. I've been on enough planets with this kind of maneuver. About how wide of an area are we looking at, and can we get out of the way in time is my next thought.
If you start running,
Mm-hmm.
you might be able to get out of the way. If you can make it behind any real hard cover, not these little puddle poles of shells hitting the ground, some real hard cover. Like the ship might provide you some cover. Then again, if it has much fuel in it, it might blow up.
Mm-hmm.
So a dead horse is not going to provide any cover.
No, definitely not. No.
Let's see. Well,
Too
let's do
soon.
this.
You could it open and fall inside it.
We
Let's see.
could.
I'll say at that point,
Gotta
though,
mix these franchises. It's important.
At that point, especially since we're all hearing this, I would suggest to either Nate or Clayton, but whoever can impersonate an officer the best, take my communicator because it's on my squad's frequency. Tell them, hey, they need to find cover, and tell them to go, say, a few clicks to the. Sorry, we're on the eastern or western side of this
Western.
wall. We're on the western.
Western.
So I tell them move like 4 clicks east.
4 clicks is 4 kilometers. That's a long fucking way to run.
Long way.
Yeah.
Hey, they don't know how big of a carpet bomb this is going to be.
So, looking around, are there other people trying to get away that look like they have some sort of direction they're running?
There's actually an alliance moving towards you.
Oh fuck!
It's a couple of big units of alliance, but as you see they're moving towards you, they don't look like they're like they don't have their weapons out at the ready. They're fucking running.
So they're moving down, or no, they're moving uphill or downhill?
They're moving sideways.
Oh, they're all going the same direction, towards our direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I see anything else that could be sufficient cover besides the ship?
If you can get down the hill and move, you can see that there's a the hill. This is like a dell, which is a small narrow valley that goes into the valley, and you can see that the dell opens out just down past the ship, and all you have to do is make it down and around that rise, which is the direction you saw the horse was riding in.
Okay, so remember that horse right past the ship? I think if we just book it. I think if we just book it.
That direction?
I don't know. All I know is I popped up. There was a horse, then there was you, and I chose you.
Okay, we're
closer.
We're good at. What's your name? What's your name, soldier? not you. One, I literally still have the gun kind of
Yeah.
at you.
Nathan's just like,
I think you're muted, bud.
I was like, which one are you speaking to?
You. I gotta prod you with
Oh.
the gun. What's your name, soldier?
Yeah. So at this point, he's going to introduce the, I guess what name he'll choose to go by because no one give real names yet. Stephen Knight.
Steve. Okay, look. We need to make it down that hill. I think that's the only way we're going to get out of this without going back to the Alliance, which I'm assuming the three of us do not want to do at this point.
Yep.
Okay.
basic train had to come in sometime, and she
Just
starts
start
booking
booking.
it.
Yep.
So you guys are running.
just
hauling
straight-
ass.
As fast as can. Yep.
So,
Yeah, well, I still have a hole in my
I
shoulder.
know. I was gonna say.
Oh, I was going to ask. I would have something like a painkiller of some sort,
Yeah, you can make a roll.
Morphine shot.
yeah, not morphine. We don't need you being
I'm at the
buggy.
equivalent.
I need like lidocaine,
I
something
love
like a
that.
lidocaine.
Not
Yeah.
morphine. No, not morphine. You don't get no morphine.
Like, okay, I will definitely take a roll for this, just enough for him not to be in severe pain while he's running.
Okay, I'm gonna make a roll to set the TN based on his
Okay.
and the severity of his wound. So I have the TN. It's a 10.
Okay. So,
No ones from me.
Damn.
okay. So I'm going to use my Distinction of Ship's Doctor for a D8. I'm going to use my Mental, which is a D8. I'm going to use Treat, which is a D10. And
You can also put a signature asset in it.
yeah, which is a medical bag, which can be additional D8.
Oh.
And I'm gonna see about using my my trigger here.
Yeah, I haven't spent a plot point for triggers.
Yeah, I know. And I'm out anyway, so never mind. Okay.
You can choose to roll your distinction at a D4, and then you'll get a plot point immediately. You can't spend it on this roll, but you'll get a plot point back.
I'm okay.
All right.
I'm okay for now. I will take my. This is a pretty decent pull. Said my goal is 10 here.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say safe bet. Please don't give me a drug that'll actually stop my heart while we're running.
Okay. So no ones and a 15.
You beat me by 5, which means you
Hmm.
raised the stakes. The highest die I rolled was a D10. So now you have a D10 big damn hero dice.
For use later.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And now you also get. Does he get? Jonathan, what does he get for the only beating him by 5?
Well, I mean, it's
Oh, he can lower his thing down, can't he?
yeah, it's an extraordinary success. So his roll was designed to alleviate the thing, so that would normally reduce it by 1. Beating you by 5 is going to take it down another step.
All right. So
that would
basically,
mean
you quickly discern that this is a clean gunshot wound,
Mm-hmm.
and that all you really have to do is spray in some of the. It's basically a coagulant. plus
A clotting agent.
Yeah,
I'm
clotting
throwing
agent
quick
plus a
clot on
wound
him.
sealer.
Okay.
It's like
Cool.
you literally just jam it in the hole and hit the button.
Yeah, like, do you remember in Serenity when they were holding off the Reavers?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Which, ow!
Which I would assume also has a mild.
Yeah,
Very
mild
mild pain.
analgesic to
Yeah.
dumb it
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Yeah.
So that will take away both levels. No, leaves it at a D4. Leaves it at a D4. So he still has a complication, but it's only at a D4 now. Sweet.
Okay.
All right. So
D4 is not bad. It means Ray's likely to roll 1s.
it's just another way to screw me. All right. So you guys get moving. You're sprinting down the hill. You quickly run past the other Alliance unit as they're like kind of just like coming up with their weapons up. And they see you, and one of them's like, "Sir."
I'm not really paying much attention there, because obviously, you know, well, first one tell us, actually, scratch that. What I'm gonna tell them is they need to. Shit, I'm trying to figure out because I was supposed to make my
You're
death
running,
so they
dude.
see me.
Mhm.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what I was saying is running.
If you can't figure out anything to say, then you basically said nothing, and you kept running.
Stay put, man.
Stay
Yeah. Actually, yeah. No, I'm gonna tell them.
I'm gonna murder my entire squad. Watch this. Stay put.
Well, I mean, they see me. I'm trying to fake my death here.
Yeah, but you're running now.
Actually, no. Actually, I don't want to tell them. I want to tell them they need to continue the retreat, and I'm gonna.
They look around because they weren't retreating yet.
Well, I thought they were because other people were. Now it sounds like, didn't you hear the horn? Cart bomb coming in. Move your asses. I'm gonna go, grab some of the wounded from up ahead instead of trying to make it work. Mitchell dies a hero, hopefully, in their eyes.
Okay.
Instead of pulling a grenade pin on someone they trust.
Oh, I never trusted them.
I meant by
Someone
someone
whose
who
trust you
trusted.
had. Yeah.
Yeah. So you basically just are yelling that as you run by. They're
Yeah.
kind of looking at each other, look back and forth at each other. And this one, the other command officer for the unit is like, "You heard him? Let's get the hell out of here!" And they just start trucking it for to try and basically they were trying to get higher ground and get the fuck out of the Vale. So you guys come down the hill, kind of sliding on the screen, coming down the side of the hill where the ship crashed. So back to Mariana and Wyatt.
Oh, hey,
So
we exist.
Yeah, you managed to drag the commander over to the side of the hill. You're coming up at the top of the hill. You can see the Alliance units, and by now they're finally close enough to where you can make them out. And these guys aren't like advancing up as units with cover fire or any shit like that. They're fucking just sprinting. Like 20 men just hauling ass.
Wait,
They don't even have the
Alliance
guns.
are running towards us right now?
Yes, but they're not like they don't even have their guns in their hands. Their guns, if they're even carrying their guns anymore, their guns are like thrown over their backs on the straps and everything like that. And they don't even look like they're paying attention to where they're going. Well, they do. They're running, but they're fucking just running as fast as they can. And as you're seeing that, you notice that those dots are much closer, and you realize that if the Alliance are getting the fuck out, then there's something came through the communications and something bad's about to happen.
How far is the mule?
The mule is going to be there any second. It's coming like up the valley. It's coming towards the ship though, so it's going to come in behind you.
Even after we flared them down with the...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it's coming straight for you then. So it's gonna be basically it's gonna be cresting the hill in any moment now. But at that same moment, you hear like a bunch of rocks and debris getting pushed around from the front of the ship, like someone's coming down the hill near the front of the ship.
I have my gun, one hand on the general to keep him where we're at. I'm gonna let those Alliance troops run by if they don't notice us, but I am gonna be ready to shoot at them if I need to. But hopefully if we just stay still, they won't even notice us. But I'm ready to shoot at anything I have to shoot at to keep the general safe.
All right. So you guys get to the ship. There's no one around the ship. You see the body of one guy has been shot and he's on the ground. You see that the two browncoats that were running are also here, but they were shot. So there, but there is two perfectly good browncoats. Bullets in them.
We're
You
just
know
waiting
what?
for the mule, aren't we?
Hmm?
We're
What?
just waiting for the mule, aren't we?
You're yes.
Oh,
Ray's referring to those of us running down the hill like bats out of hell.
Are,
Okay,
Are you
sorry.
gonna keep moving?
Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly grab a cloak because at this point I'm fully showing
Well,
up brown cloak.
there's no quickly grabbing. It's not a cloak. It's a coat.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's what I meant. Oh yeah.
There's no quick about it. If you're stopping,
Yeah,
you have
got
to
it.
pull the coat all the way off.
And Wyatt and Mariana are like ducked behind the ship for cover right now. Would I be able to
No,
see
they're
them?
they're
No.
not.
Oh,
no.
They're a little bit
Where-
further down, and they're up, and you're up on the rise, right?
Okay, like imagine the ship's here, and there's
Mhm.
like a valley that goes down like this or something. We went down the valley a ways before we got shot, and then we
Okay.
went up the hill part of the valley, like to where we could see like the
Over
actual
everything.
valley.
So we can't see them clearly. Like we're not going to notice
But
them going.
not
where
from
we're
this
going.
side of the ship. You have to go around the ship.
Okay. Well, I see 2 downed brown coats in front of the ship. So definitely gonna like literally as we're going down, I want to like just grab a body. I'm gonna drag the body behind the ship because the
Okay.
Alliance guys are still behind us, right?
Yeah, but they're not worried about you. They're scrambling up out of this area, trying to get
Yeah.
high ground and get away from this bombing run.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely drag the bodies behind there and immediately start like trying to pull a coat off.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
as
but-
you're doing that,
And pants.
Yeah,
gotcha. Wyatt, Mariana, you and Wyatt see this small group of people. They've dragged 2 bodies around and they're stripping off their uniform. As you see them do that, see that the bombers come in, and you see objects begin falling from the bombers. And these devices come tumbling from the sky, and as they do, they split up into even smaller devices.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, the fucking valley is just on fire. As there is explosions all over the valley, just layering everything. And it's blinding for a few seconds. You guys are basically, you guys up on the side of the hill, Mariana and Wyatt. I mean, it's so bad you guys have to basically sit down because the ground's shaking. And the rest of you guys behind the ship, you guys are trying to loot these people and get their clothes off them, but now you're basically in the dirt.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
the sky goes
Light.
fucking white,
Mhm.
and next thing you know, you guys are like you're having trouble breathing.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel heat everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're blinded, and after a few moments, and you and Wyatt, you and Mariana see the carpet bomb just go right across where the ship.
Of course it does.
And
The mule is doing how?
the mule has been incinerated.
Well,
Okay. The second
There
I see
goes
that the
that
mule has been
plan.
incinerated,
Yep.
I am gonna basically like change the way I've got the pool and the general so that we can start sliding back down the hill. Because I'd rather be in the bottom part of this little kind of like indent than be up there on the side of the valley.
Yeah, you don't want to be
um,
spotted at this point.
No, and then try to like start moving him further away from the ship down this area so that we can start kind of like getting out.
Gotcha.
how's the general looking right about now?
He is not looking well at all. This is pretty rough treatment for a man who's got broken ribs and been shot.
Okay.
And
You know
so-
what, Ray? Before I move him too far, I'm gonna get back down the hill. I'm gonna look him over, and I'm gonna do my Wyatt best to fix him up.
Oh,
no! Oh,
All
Now,
right.
now I'm not trying to like fix him, like make him actually better.
I
I'm just trying to
understand.
fix him, like let's not bleed out. Fix him. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
Nope, it's okay. I got you. I understand exactly what you're trying to attempt. You don't want to risk killing him, but you want to see if there's anything you can do to help this situation out.
Mhm.
You,
You just
you
want
know,
to stabilize him potentially.
I know this is probably gonna sound bad, but I think I can stabilize the general.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Oh my
If you
fucking
just ran into the fire,
Yeah.
you could have had someone to fix him.
Yeah.
But you have to actively
It
run
would have been a
into the
permanent
fire.
fix. It would have been fine.
You would have had 2 people to fix him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'd run into the fire, like that's the best place for me to go right now.
Trial by
Hey,
fire.
man.
I mean,
No.
best outcome.
General,
No.
I'm gonna save your life. Let me drag you into the burning fire. It'll be
No
good
one's
for
gonna
you.
look for
Jonathan,
you.
you have an
I
opportunity.
mean,
Gonna buy it?
No, I do not want to buy the opportunity. I need the plot
Aw.
points to like save him. All right.
So the total is a 13.
Oh, I think I can do that. All right, so all right, spending the plot point so that I can improve my pool to keep 3, and then I will spend the other plot point probably to use a big damn hero dice. But I'll check to see what this roll is before I make that decision.
Got it.
You said a 13?
Yes.
Well, I got a 15, so I will use a big damn hero die. Because I think that I can beat it by 5, and then I'll actually fix him, like, good. Now I have an 18, so I did beat you by 5.
Yes.
Yeah, instead of using Scotch tape, you got full-on Gorilla Tape. Look
So,
at you.
so I pull the general down, and I'm just thinking, like, okay, what can I use to fix this? And I'm just basically gonna start, like, ripping off pieces of cloth and kind of, like, rolling them up and, like, jabbing them into the wounds to, like, you know, put... What do you want me to... Like, I don't have medical supplies. I'm just trying to, like...
I just
like,
think
kill
it's funny,
them?
like 20 yards away, right? About 20 yards away. There's an actual, like, decent medical kit. It's beautiful.
There is a well-stocked
The irony.
medical kit.
You know what? Between this and, like, that little medicine pack I have in my go bag, he's doing probably better right now.
Yeah.
well, and also too the fact we're near the ship. Their
I'm
ship
like,
probably had a
you know
med bay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna jab some clothing into those wounds so they stop bleeding so bad, and then I'm gonna give him like Tylenol, Excedrin, and like one of everything I've got. It'll be good for him.
You know, just give him a handful of ibuprofen.
Oh my
That'll
God.
definitely help with a bleeding wound.
Is there a tampon in the medical kit? Just shove it in the bullet wound. And
And-
tampons were originally made for
Mhm.
stopping bleeding.
Yep.
Yeah,
bullet
but-
wounds.
they still
Look.
are.
Pop it right in there.
I
fine.
don't have those, but I'm happy to use the clothing like it is one. So,
Desperate times.
what was the best dice you used, Ray?
What?
What was the best dice you used?
The best dice I used was a D10.
Oh, then I got my big damn hero die back.
Ta-da.
Look, I saved the general for now, at least.
What kind of fucking med kit doesn't have any goddamn tampons or anything
I was
in
about
it?
to say,
Fucking
you're falling
sexist.
short here, man.
I don't have a med.
I got a box.
I don't have a med kit. What do you?
Fair. Fair.
Why? It's like, I don't have a fucking med kit. I'm cutting up clothes.
I am literally not a trained medical professional and not using a med kit, and I'm just trying to save this general, and I'm doing a pretty good job without a med kit and no training.
So,
Fair enough.
as you guys come, as your vision starts coming back, you're kind of all laying on the ground. As you're picking yourselves up, Clayton,
Mhm.
you're looking at Nath and Steven, and you see that every piece of visible skin is like lobster red.
I'm gonna
And
look
they
at the
have,
back of my
and
hands.
some places they have blisters. Same.
Same.
Yep. And your mouth is like dryish.
Mhm. Is the ship that is literally like to our back? Is it still standing? Because they clearly hit us with a firebomb, not with physical explosives.
It was fire bombs. It wasn't
Fire.
physical explosions.
Yeah. So then it's got some fire on it, but it's meant to be out in space and taking extreme temperatures. I'm sure it's physically
Yes.
fine. It's structurally okay.
Right.
Well, is there any opening on our side that we could climb into this ship for a second?
No, it was on the other side.
Damn it!
Come
Man,
on.
I could've
Thinking
run
about
in.
that where they came out of the ship, and I was like, oh no, it's on the other side.
Other side.
Yeah.
So,
It's definitely
that,
Yeah,
that
everything
way, and
fucking hurts.
that way
we should keep going.
Mm.
Oh, I probably have a a topical spray, like a
Topical
canister of a
spray?
topical, like it's not like literally like a topical numbing agent, something like a Novocaine instead of a lidocaine. Much more temporary than that. Not, I don't think I have a bottle of aloe in my kit. I could make it. I could make
No,
one,
there's-
but more realistically, I have something that would be used for triage surgery that I would spray it. I would spray you down with
Yeah.
something before I started
Yeah.
making quick
What were you
decisions.
saying, Mariana?
I can't think of what it's fucking called, but it is like a lidocaine spray thing that is made for sunburn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an aloe vera with lidocaine. Yeah, I keep it
So
in the house.
Wyatt, as you get the commander settled and you finally get him stabilized, and he seems to be having an easier time breathing. He seems to, a little more color to his face.
As I'm tending to him, I'm gonna be like, horse girl, I need you to get that saddle and the stuff off, the bridle, everything. Start taking that off the horse quickly.
Girl.
She never told me her
I
name.
have a fucking name.
Well, you never told it to me.
Hi, Mariana. What the fuck's your name?
I'm Wyatt. Like, get. Well, no, I just say.
She's
I'm
already over, like,
I'm
walking
Atlas.
towards
Just
the
get
horse.
the saddle off of the thing and the bridle and everything else. The tack, all of it. Get it off.
She grabs it and brings it over.
Got it.
I'm still treating him. I'm gonna be like, all right, now start making a makeshift thing we can drag him in it.
All right.
Is this what we walk in on?
Okay, so as you're doing that, you guys kind of are looking around. Number one, see that there's further down the Vale a little bit here. You see there's two people, and they seem to be tending to a third. One of them runs over to what looks like the dead body of a horse, and starts pulling off all the gear on the horse. The other one is, just seems to be like trying to stabilize the guy on the ground. They're about 20 yards or so away from you, 20 or 30 yards away from you.
Do I need to make a roll to literally just kind of mist us all with something to make the pain a little bit less?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just literally like a day at the beach getting some SPF. I'm just hitting everybody and like, okay, just fucking.
Yeah,
So I see
we're
that.
going. Yeah,
Are they in their brown coats? I can tell that at least one of them is a brown coat.
Yes. And one of them
Okay.
looks like a civilian.
Okay.
One of them looks mostly dead.
Okay. So
Also,
yeah.
would that horse just be jerky at this point with the firebomb?
The horse
They
was
were
farther-
outside of the
They were
range.
outside
Yeah.
the blast radius.
Oh, okay.
so I.
Am I the only one who hasn't taken damage because of this? My horse
Wyatt hasn't either.
yeah.
Do the brown coats still exist?
Huh?
I've just
the
taken all the
physical
emotional
code-
Yeah, they were
damage.
right with you.
Okay, cool. I'm throwing
those
that
on.
over my
Yep.
burn body and gonna like start sprinting towards
Yeah, it
them.
hurts.
Oh, I'm sure, guaranteed.
Pain,
This is
lots
this
of
is just
pain.
letting me move. That's all it's letting me do. The topical is just letting me move. All we need is to
So
move.
you guys are hobbling over towards them.
Mhm.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
What seems to be the problem here?
Well,
I'm like, I literally turn with the gun when I hear
Mhm.
what seems to be the problem because I don't know who's behind me.
And I put my rifle up in the air. I have no issue with.
I was like,
Throughout.
I put up one arm and try and put the other one, I got my right arm, my left one's like barely getting up where it's still,
You got an
not
obvious
just
bullet
shot
wound.
but burned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they look fucking lobster red. They have
Mhm.
blisters. They do not
Yeah,
look in the best of ways.
that's not gonna feel good on the gunshot wound.
Yeah.
That-
Look,
that
you know
arm-
what? It
that
might
arm-
cauterize
Here.
the gunshot wound, so
There we
there's
go.
that.
The wound
Okay,
was fine.
You
I took
want to
care
start
of
helping?
that.
Yeah,
I'm.
what do
6
you need?
Alliance soldiers right there. Take their bulletproof vests off and bring them over here. All
No, no,
six.
Got
no.
it.
Right over and immediately start taking them
Yep,
off. And
that's
as
what
I
Nathan
do,
will do.
Yep.
Is help. But I gotta bounce. So.
Yeah.
All right,
Bye.
no problem.
Gotcha.
Have a
I
very
asked
good night.
it.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have them stack at least 2 of those bulletproof vests like on top of each other, so it's 2 deep,
Oh,
and then have them help me put him in one of the vests so that we can tighten it up since he thinks he's got broken ribs to help with support, and then use the vests that have been unfolded to like use it almost like a stretcher. I know it's gonna bend some, but we can use it as a way to drag him because it'll drag easy through this place compared to like just dragging him.
Yeah,
I see what
I
he's
think I know
doing.
exactly what you're talking about.
I see what he's
trying
doing,
to
and I'm
do.
definitely
Yeah.
going to help him. I'm definitely going to help him, and I probably have something in this bag that might help, like some kind of little rod to make something like that, or maybe even something to brace his ribs. As I see him putting that on there, as I see him putting the vest on to brace his ribs because he thinks he's broken them, would I be able to assist with that?
Yeah.
To try and like
or
wrap
actually-
him a little bit?
When you're doing that, what I was gonna say, Liz is trying to get into one window.
I'm trying to figure out one.
I got it. I'm fixing it right now. But yeah, you're in two different places on the screen, so it's great.
Oh,
This is the
You know
only
what, next
problem when
time-
someone has to leave the stream early.
next time we should probably just tell her to like mute
She
herself and
can't
turn
though.
off the camera.
She can't though because she has to jump
No,
in
she
another
can't.
call.
Yeah,
I know, but if
she's
she
gonna-
just mutes herself and turns off the camera, can't she jump into another call and it'll
Nope.
just be a black
No.
screen?
Nope,
Google
because
Google
it's
won't
still.
won't release the camera.
What?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's great.
Just like I had to launch Google before I launch OBS, because if I don't, OBS won't release the camera.
Okay.
So it's just a technical issue. This setup. But hey,
Look, Lissa. I know you're giving me a hard time about this general, but
Oh,
I'm
I'm
I'm-
not giving you a hard time.
no.
Mariana
You
is
you are
just
not
entitled.
Mariana. You are. But you know what, Lissa? I'm trying to not break my toys.
Look, someone broke my toys
the poor.
without
Horse.
me having anything to do with it.
Just the horse.
Hey.
You wrote the rest of it into your backstory.
See, that's different though.
That's
I don't have
different,
any
though.
issues with that.
I don't have any issues when I torture myself. I just have
That's
issues when other
different.
people come.
You
torture
were
me.
like, I
That-
bonded
that-
with that horse 3 seconds before it died by deciding it was my childhood horse.
I know.
See,
I love
that's like
how-
the whole.
I love how Alyssa actually literally made it worse right before I killed it. She's like, it's my
Yep.
childhood horse. I raised it from him as a pony. I was like,
You were like, you could use it as like a saddle or something. And I was like, or you could just make it a relationship with the horse. And he's like, I like the relationship with the horse. So I guess maybe it's my fault for recommending it. I don't know.
I just love the fact that that whole bit there is like the whole bit like for those with siblings, the whole like, oh, I can make fun of my brother. You better shut the fuck up type moment.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's
Like, I try to talk to my
basically-
siblings all the time. You can't.
It's one thing if it's my complication. It's another if it's someone else's.
I love how like I was like, horse girl, and you're like, I have a name, and I was like, you never told it to me.
You never told
And then you're
it
like,
to me.
You're like, well, let's introduce ourselves in the middle of this horribleness, and I'm like, whatever. Like, let's just get him taken care of.
She was already running for it. And she
Yeah, she was
says it like as she's running.
All right, I think I've got everything fixed now.
Yep.
So, you're helping him patch him up. Let's go ahead and do this dice pool.
Wasn't he stable now?
Huh?
We're just trying to be able to
No,
move
you're
him.
not helping to patch up. Sorry, you're making the Travios lean-to whatever to drag him along with.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, these Alliance bulletproof vests, from what I saw in pictures, ought to be pretty decent for this.
I don't know. Tell it to my shoulder.
Oh, it's on my shoulder. Well, that was sticking out of the vest. That's not the vest's fault. All
These
right,
vests
so
aren't designed to help him with bullets right now. They're just designed to like help him drag along something without
okay.
hurting him more.
yep.
Yep.
So let's you guys go ahead and basically make kind of a web basket out of those vests and all the straps and everything like that, and you kind of put him in it, and one person on either side can basically hoist it over the shoulder, and you kind of keep him off the ground. His feet may drag a little, but you keep him off the ground, and so he'll be between two people, and then you guys can move at a
Well-
decent walk.
Well, so we got a bunch of vests. So he's wearing one. We have two to make the basket, and then we'll just strap like one under his feet so that his feet still can slide, but just like tie it to his feet, like his ankles. And then that's what we're using like the horse's bridle and gear for, is like to be able to like have the straps to be able to like stay standing completely upright and be able
Oh.
to haul it.
And remember, for a saddle and everything, it also has a blanket.
That's why I had you get everything: the tack, the gear, everything.
Yep.
All right.
See, I'm reusing the things that the horse doesn't need anymore.
That doesn't make it any better if you're like, oh, but it's recycling!
At
The
least,
funny thing is, I knew
at least
Sparkle's
he
name
didn't
before
try
I
and
knew
do
yours.
something ridiculous like make something for an adhesive out of the horse.
That would take too long.
Yeah, the processing on horse glue is not a short amount of time.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I just wanted to watch this.
Ah, yes, let's turn my horse into gelatin and glue right here.
Okay, but I said
All
not
right.
to.
And
Maybe
as
some
soon as we got
bone
him
meal
ready to
while
move,
we're at
Ray,
it.
I was gonna say
Like-
at this point, I would say instead of glue or gelatin, it might as well just be jerky at this point. There's enough fire to help dry it out.
What were you trying to say?
as
Wyatt?
soon as we got him ready to move, I'm going to ask these nice two gentlemen to be the ones that are hauling him, so that I can keep my gun out and I can shoot at things if I need to.
You once again look at Steve with the bullet hole.
And
It's
maybe
gonna
some
literally
bird.
just be me. It's just gonna be me, and it's fine.
Okay, well then I will
well,
help, but I will
wait.
make sure I'm using my
There's
left
Dave.
arm to pull
Dave is
because I want my
Mariana.
right hand.
Mariana doesn't have any wounds.
And I will say Nate
And
is
neither
also
does
still.
Nate.
My
I'm
physical
going to
is
help,
a
but I
10.
also have. My physical is not that great. Where is it?
My physical is a 10, but
Mine's an 8. Okay, so mine's average.
Well, I mean, average for
Actually,
a hero.
average
It's
is
above
4.
average for a normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she grew up on a ranch, so
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
she does have some physical strength.
I think between the two of us, we could definitely. How big is the general? Like height,
Not-
weight,
he's not-
everything.
Yeah, he's average overall, 5'10",
Slight, just
180.
5'10".
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then yeah. Between Mariana and actually between
Would you,
Mariana
would you be
and
happy if I
Nathan,
said
probably-
Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now?
Fine.
No, it's a joke. I sent you the picture, Ray. You obviously know that's not what he looks like.
Well, you made him up, so I was, if you want to change him, you can.
No,
Your
they're just like, how
character.
heavy is he? And I'm like, would you want me to make him fat?
No. I was actually thinking more like like is he like a big, like heavy set soldier type of guy, or is he like I'm an officer. I haven't been in
Okay,
combat for a while.
Think
you
Air
know?
Force officer. He's like an intelligence officer. He's not like
Oh, okay.
like a
yeah.
Marine officer, if that makes sense.
Okay. No, yeah, I got you. I was wondering more like, we looking at Doug Jones here, or are we looking at a John Cena build? One is much worse in this situation.
Okay,
Okay,
you know
cool.
what? We're looking at like Star Trek builds.
Fantastic. That works. Okay. But I'll say between Mariana and Nath, they're the two with the least combat experience, as far as I can tell. Could they both pull him, and then Wyatt and myself and Clayton could kind of keep an eye out and shoot if we have to?
Well, once again, I mean, you may have patched Steve up so he can run, but you did not patch him up enough to where he can use his damn arm.
Well,
But he only has
Wyatt-
one arm. Wait, he only has one arm because like they're pulling from different sides. So he
Yes.
could use his good arm to pull on that side, and Mariana could be on the other side with whichever arm she's gonna use.
by the way, hydrate.
Oh, hydrate.
Yeah, from that one other
Hey,
guy,
EXE.
EXE.
Oh, hi, Yuxi.
Alright, So, let's do this.
I have a
It
Gatorade.
is 11 o'clock. And you guys have gotten to the point where I really wanted you to get to, getting everyone together by the end of the session. The next steps, of course, trying to get the general away from the lines, not get captured by the Alliance, find a way off this rock. So, it's a good place to wrap it. You've gotten a little farther away from the lines.
Yeah.
we've moved 50 yards. This whole game, we moved
But
a
also-
total of 50 yards.
Yeah.
Pretty
but also,
much.
but also too with the whole getting the game together, Yeah, we're all together. May not want to in one piece though.
That's the whole point. That's the whole
We
point.
we are collectively 3 solid people.
Solid people.
Out of 5 people, we have 3 complete healthy bodies.
And
Out of all of
5
them.
bodies that may be in pieces.
Wait,
I mean,
we don't have 4? Isn't
Yeah,
isn't
Nate-
the
Nate is
mechanic
only
also fully
burned.
healthy?
Oh no,
she got burnt.
I'm saying between all of the damage and burns,
Oh,
Yeah.
we collectively make 3 healthy people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're counting
Yeah.
me, you, and Nate as one. Got it.
Yep. Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. Everything was a freaking blast as always. If you guys want to follow these people, they all are creators in their own rights. The only one who's not, and he is a creator because he comes on here every single week and plays amazing characters, but he is the only one of us smart enough to stay the hell off social media. And that is Jonathan, the amazing Jonathan, who is one of the original daggers as well. When we started this way back in 2018, he was one of the first people that joined us. He was one of the first people that we invited, and he has been around since. Or way back as a humble podcast. So thank you, Jonathan, for coming in. This character is definitely a contrast to Mark, and so it's going to be interesting to see how he develops out. I think it's going to be really, really fun. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in and helping out, Jonathan. It's great. And Jonathan, by the way, if you guys didn't know, is a rules savant. So as you can see, I even fall back to asking him questions. But he's got a lot of experience with this system, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jonathan. And so, Corey, where can folks find you?
You can find me on TikTok at the Hipster Viking.
Don't
That's
book
really it
on.
right now.
That's really
it.
it right now.
Yep. I have an Instagram, but I do not utilize it very much. I'm working on putting more stuff on there, maybe making Instagram specific content, but currently it's just the Hipster Viking on TikTok.
And Kel, where can folks find you?
And you can find me on TikTok and here on Twitch at at Celtic Wyvern King. Hopefully I'm trying to get back into streaming again because I know I streamed a little bit of Jurassic World Evolution just because I was like, you know what, I might as well. But I need to stick to the schedule I kind of put out there, what games are being streamed.
Really, it's good to stick to a schedule and that type of stuff. And Lissa, where can people find you?
Hi, you can find me in a lot of places because I have no life. So you can find me on all social media as Geek Girl Lissa. You can also find me obviously like here on Twitch here, but I also am on 2 other shows. On Mondays, I am on Nerdworks Media for Bros and Dragons, and that is also a podcast that you can find on Spotify. On Tuesdays, you can find me here on Twitch under the Dead Bard Society for Windermere Falls. Any other day, you can find me on my own Twitch channel. Thursdays and Saturday nights, I am on YouTube producing and/or on camera, because a good portion of the time I'm also on camera on Saturdays, on the Aries Studios YouTube channel. And what else do I do? Obviously, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like the works, and I've got a Discord and everything, so like Linktree, which will eventually become a Beacons because apparently Linktree is doing shitty stuff with NFTs.
Oh,
So.
lovely. So we will probably start a Beacons too. And you can find Oz on her links. I didn't change it on that. But you can find Oz on her, this is her TikTok link, but she also has a Linktree now. So we'll get that out there and change that out in her commands because I forgot to change it out. She gave it to me. Okay. But you can also follow Dinner and a Game at our link, which is probably going to become a Beacons now because I found out why everyone's been changing to Beacons. There we go. But you can follow us on Linktree, and the Linktree basically will have all of our socials on it, which will help you for the contest that we run. Because like we said, we're giving away that Wizard's Tower on TikTok when we hit 1,000 followers, and whatever you guys can do to help us get there. When we get there, the sooner we give this big beastie away, and we are currently at like 940. I mean, we're so close.
Oh.
So if you guys can help us get over that hump, that would be amazing. And we'll be giving this tower away when we do it.
Time to do another push.
I'm doing. And then, of course, every month we're giving away a new mini. And this month it is the Death Knight on the Undead Dragon from the Bloodright Red Rain collection from Archvillain Game. This is a 3D printed mini that I will print out, and we're going to give this away to one lucky winner at the end of the month. And you can get tickets for that raffle by watching our shows. And once every show, randomly, we'll have a 20-minute interval. You'll be able to type in a keyword into chat and get tickets for this giveaway. So the more shows you watch, the more tickets you can play. You have to be a follower, get a ticket. But if you're also a subscriber, you get an extra ticket. So we thank everyone for coming out, everyone for helping us out. And remember, at Dinner Game, we always save you a seat at the table. Remember, if you follow us here also, we're giving away a set of D&D 4 books. You get 1,000. And we had a lot of followers tonight, and I cannot thank the Cantrip Cast enough for the raid. And we are sitting right now at 786. So we are getting into the last bits of that whole thing to get us to that 1,000 goal, and that is going to be amazing. And like I said, the Cantrip Cast has helped us a lot with that, and we cannot even begin to say thank you for that. And like I said, at Dinner Game, we always save you a seat at the table. If you have to go out, social distance, wear a mask. As Lissa can attest, even if you do all the right things, you can still get sick. So be very, very careful, because we want you to come back week after week. We want you to be able to enjoy shows that we put out for you as much as we enjoy making them. And we hope that's always true. In the meantime, we're going to take all this love and all this fun, and we're going to take it over, and we're going to raid a Trans. Trans Tiefling is an amazing creator. They do great stuff. Their TikToks are great, and we're going to show that love and support by giving them a raid tonight. So let them know the Dinner and a Game sent you.
Yes,
Tell them
and
hi. Tell them how much you appreciate what they're doing.
they're also currently doing a charity stream benefiting Trans Empowerment Project. So everyone, if you are able to, please donate to that.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to go head over there. Once again, thank everyone for coming out. We will be talking to you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Monster Hearts game run by Star Search Stories. Love you. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye!
Star rating.